What are some things you thought were dumb as an athlete that you now use as a coach?
Lifting.
Welcome to the Coach 'em Up podcast. My name is Tim Riley. Zach Zillner's not with us. He had to go back to his real job. Whatever. Before we get started, we have to have a conversation. There are two types of people on planet Earth. There are subscribers and there are non-subscribers. To all of my subscribers, people who have been with us for a while, or maybe you're just joining now, thank you so much. To all of my non-subscribers, it's not that I'm angry, it's that I'm disappointed. You can do better. Subscribe. It's literally free. You get to support the show, and it helps me bring on badass guests like Erica and Ashley. Guys, how we doing?
Awesome.
Amazing. Happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you guys. Since, we've got two people on this side of the table, Erica, I'd like to start with you. Who are you? How'd you end up here? And take us your career and where you're at now, and then Ashley, we'll kick it over to you. Do the same thing.
Yeah, so to kind of keep it relatively brief, I played volleyball my whole life. So started when I was 9 and super competitive out the womb. So I tried other sports, latched onto volleyball.
What about volleyball did it for you? Because my daughter is currently,
I need to know also.
My daughter's 9 and she's obsessed. And I love it.
I think at first it was my older sisters played. So I saw my older sisters playing.
Okay.
And my dad, he coached them at the YMCA. And so I was like, okay, I want to do that. But also because I'm competitive, I was like, I also want to be better at them. Better than them
Naturally.
at volleyball. So I kind of
there's
followed.
Some youngest sibling stuff happening.
There's a little
here.
bit. I'm a middle child. So that's where it
You
came
are?
out.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So definitely the competitiveness in me. I was like, all right, I'm going to try volleyball too. I'll just be better than them.
Were you?
Have you seen her jump?
I know.
Over time.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity to
yes,
clear the air.
absolutely.
Yes. Okay. We got the answer.
I think when I was about 12, so you have travel volleyball that you try out for.
Right.
So my first time trying out, it's for the 12s team, super nervous. And I'm shorter. I was maybe 5'2", 5'3" at the time. So I'm going to be back row. So, I'm working on my passing and my defense and all these things. I get to the tryout. And when you're 12, they kind of make you do a little bit of everything. And so when I got to the station, that was the blocking and jumping station, the coaches pulled me aside and were like, why can you jump? Like, what's wrong with you? I was like, what do you mean? Because I didn't know. I had no idea. I just was like, I'm just jumping. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they pulled me over to my own court. It was just me and a group of coaches. I jumped the entire tryout. I didn't do my skill. And they're like, you're on the top team. I was actually kind of pissed because I was like, I didn't get to show my skills. But they're like, we don't care. We'll train that.
Doesn't matter.
Literally didn't matter.
Yeah.
Your 3.5 foot vertical will be enough for us. Thank you so much. Front row.
Yeah. No, literally. So they're like, you're actually going to play front row. So I was 12. And at the time, no one was 6 foot yet. So, I could kind of keep up. And then the year after that, 13s, everyone shot up. I'm still 5'4".
Yeah.
Then I got booted to the back row. Sometimes I would hit if someone got hurt, which I always hoped for that. I mean, not that they got hurt.
Please let her get injured.
Yeah.
God.
Oh no, she rolled her ankle.
Dang it.
Yeah, sorry.
But it was funny because when I was hitting, it was so fun. But the whole time, I wanted to be a libero. I loved playing back row. I loved being a defender.
Be my daughter's.
Oh my gosh. And you get to wear the other jersey.
Yeah, you're special.
You're special.
That's my daughter. She's like not afraid of spotlight, actually yearns for it. All her little school plays, she's like, Daddy, I want the lead role. I'm like, all right, let's learn the lines and then you can go tell the teacher. Yeah, so she's got libero energy.
You have to have it.
It is main
you
character.
You have to have it, yes. Main character of the back row.
Main
energy,
character of the back row.
For sure.
Running the defense.
Yes.
They're wild.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're now, you've found your spot.
Yes.
Go on.
Yep. So I knew I wanted to play college volleyball. I committed to Texas A&M, spent my first 2 years there, and then I transferred and went to Liberty for 3 years. But when I went there, I didn't have much experience, resistance training or training at all. I liked playing volleyball. I hated lifting and I hated working out. We had lifting and strength training sessions.
Full
before,
circle now for you as a strength coach.
I know. Before our club practice. I mean, it's 20 minutes of a circuit. Me and my teammates would hide in the bathroom.
Really?
Which, looking back now, that doesn't speak on my character now, but we hated it.
You hated it.
I mean, we were like...
What was so was it just that you were like, fuck this, like it's unenjoyable? Or were there other elements to it that like added to the weight of just like not wanting to do it?
I think the two big things, which I take this with me now, is one, I didn't understand why we were doing it. I was never told, hey, we're doing this because it's going to make you better. It was just, hey, you have to show up, lift these weights. So A, I didn't know the purpose. And B, it didn't feel good. It burned.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, how
sucks.
it sucked in the moment because I didn't know I was doing it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go play volleyball.
100%.
I was like, I'm not getting better at my sport. That was our headspace. So again, maybe that's on us. Maybe the person that trained us, he probably did explain it, but I was just in la la land, like tuning it out. So that's also on me. But anyway, so when I got to A&M, wasn't a great volleyball experience for me. It was during COVID, so there was just a lot of obstacles, and I really latched on to the training portion. So I felt like that was where I saw success. My strength coach there, Ray Ellsworth, who she's now retired, but she was a big person that, I mean, I was terrified walking into the weight room as a freshman.
And then you saw Ray and you were like,
even more
God
terrified.
damn. Yeah.
And I mean, she was not easy on us. She was like, I'm going to make you do these hard things. And if you're doing something wrong, I'm going to call you out in front of the whole team.
Dang.
So there's the whistle blowing. That we had the time of like, you have to get your weights on at this amount of time. I'm like, I don't know how to do bar math at the time either.
Oh,
and so
the panic.
it was the panic. I walked in like
45 plus a 10 and a 5 is, but the
I
bar
know,
is
like,
this
someone
much.
help me.
Yeah.
And then she's there with the whistle. I'm like, so at first it was a lot of fear instilled in me.
Sure.
But over time, I saw why she was being hard on us, but she really cared.
Yeah.
And so once I got over that hump of, you know, just being a dumb freshman and kind of learning the ropes and everything, I was like, this is really fun. I get to compete in, you know, we would do jump testing, we would do conditioning, we would do some sprint stuff, stuff in the weight room that I'm like, I like competing, I can compete in here, but also it was cool to do a lift or whatever and be like, every week I'm adding weight, I'm getting stronger, and then I go to practice and I'm getting better. And she would explain to us why we're doing that. So that was
immediately addicted forever.
Literally, like I loved it. And so because the volleyball portion wasn't great, I really latched onto that.
Yeah.
And so by the time it came that I was like, I need to transfer, I need to go somewhere else, because I loved volleyball and I was losing the love for volleyball.
Yeah.
And so I decided to transfer, and I remember her coming up to me right before I left, and she was like, I'm proud of you. Like, I've loved working with you. I'm here if you ever need anything. And she meant that because she cared. And so even up until this point, I've reached out to her a couple times, talked to her, asked for advice, because I mean, she's awesome. She retired now, but yeah,
she freaking
she's still
loves
awesome.
You. Like,
she's great.
She knows you. She loves you. She's gonna like that person. Just generally speaking, like that's
what is
somebody.
her full name?
Huh?
Ray Ellsworth.
Rachel Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Rachel. Shout out Rachel Ellsworth.
Yeah, but Ray goes by Ray.
Got it.
Incredibly, and just this person. I've known about her in my career since before I started. She was around, and she was at A&M for a long time, and that's somebody who. Yeah, very different, very old school methodology. I don't adhere to that at all in my personal life, but like growing up, even like when I was an athlete, I knew who she was.
Got it.
I was at Oklahoma. She was at A&M. Like I knew who she was. And that up until 2-3 years ago when she retired, like wonderful human being, badass woman in the field to like really be like, hey, like this is how it's done. And like, I'm going to hold you. Like, you know that. She's going to hold you not only to a standard, but like there is a method and there's a way, and being on the whistle is not fun.
No.
That's horrifying. And it might instill some fear in you, but like, but it also, it doesn't. It created some discipline in you, and it created incredible things.
Yes.
You did.
So awesome.
I just had to say that. Ray's great.
She is. So after that conversation with her, got in the portal, I ended up at Liberty for my last 3 years playing. Okay. And whenever you go through the transfer process, you transfer academics, things like that, and they ask you, you know, what are you majoring in? What are you doing? And before that, I thought PT. I didn't know anything about PT, you know, whatever. And I was like, I want to do what Ray does. I want to have the impact that she had on me when I'm done playing. And also I love training and I wanted to learn more about it because I only had scratched the surface. And so I got to Liberty. That was what I majored in, was exercise science. And then I had 2 strength coaches there who, same thing. Amazing people, amazing coaches. I was lucky I had 3 female strength coaches, which again, not knocking males, but it's a different type of connection that you have with them because they understand.
For sure.
So they were awesome. You know, my whole time playing, I tried to learn from them while I was playing. You know, why are we doing this? In a respectful way, not why are we doing this? But I wanted to know the reasons. You know, I was probably annoying.
You wanted to understand.
I wanted to understand, and they knew that because I was like, I want to do what you do. Can you equip me while I'm playing before I go out and, you know, have an internship or whatever?
Right.
And so that was huge for me, of basically having 3 years of an internship, you know, with them. But there was also the other strength coaches at Liberty who they were happy. I would pick their brain. I would shadow them men's basketball during the summer if I was still there, things like that. And so that really just lit the passion. And I would say the biggest improvement I saw was when Danny Evans, she came in as my strength coach my last 2 seasons, and we did more of a triphasic based microdosing type approach. And I had never done that before. I had never really had exposure to tempos or anything. And so she did that with our volleyball team. Our verticals just all shot up. I mean, we were also in season. We would do the force plate. I mean, we're jumping higher and we're fresher in season at points. And so for me, I was like, I'm playing my best under her. I had my 2 best years of playing. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I think she was also doing something. So it was, her training was awesome, but also, again, amazing human who cared about us.
Yeah.
I still, like, I was talking to her the other day, I tell her this every time I see her, talk to her, I want to be like you. If I can be half the coach that you were to me, I made it.
Yeah.
So that's where this all started, was the people that impacted me and grew me not only as a volleyball player, but as a person. You know, before I started my college career, it was discipline and work ethic. And, you know, I would work hard at the things that I cared about.
Sure.
But then it kind of transformed to having more of that team first mindset and developing those leadership qualities that obviously carry into coaching.
Yeah.
And so when I was done with my playing career, I interned at Liberty, and that was the only thing I did. I was there from the morning till late. We trained with the coaches. I mean, we trained for like 2 hours.
As someone who, you know, isn't that far removed from being in that intern seat, because I get so many questions from people who are about to either begin that process or are currently in it. They're like, how do I make the most out of this? How do I get recognized? Fill in the blank. You know, all the things that you want to go positively from interning.
Yes.
So any, you know, quick pieces of advice for people in that seat, because there are many listening.
I would say first one is be a sponge. Try to take in as much as you can from training. We had interns that wouldn't train. They would show up and they're helping train these athletes. Again, I was an athlete, so I had the mindset of, I'm going to keep training like this. Now the sport's taken away. Now I'm going to go even harder.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so
also, real quick, little plug right here. Current Apex record holder for the women's broad jump and vertical. Holy shit.
Bouncy as hell.
Hopefully I can keep that one a while.
Bouncy as hell, bro.
See about Chicago. see if some freaks come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so be a sponge in the way of actually doing the training. Still to this day, I learned so much more by actually doing the training, whether it's with other coaches or like Ashley was saying, if I'm programming something for volleyball or soccer, I do the program first. I'm not just going to be like, all right, here you go. I don't even know how it feels. Yeah. So that's the big thing. Second thing, ask so many questions. Be annoying. Yeah. I was probably annoying. I would go into my coach's offices and just talk their ear off, but like also coming into it with humility.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
100%.
And I still would say that now is every conversation you approach, just a learning mindset, not a, well, I already know this and I know that. No, you don't. You probably are. If you open your mind up and you ask good questions, you were going to learn something that you didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's the second big thing. And then third one, be the hardest worker in everything you do, whether it's being early on time, making sure you're the first one, asking what needs to be set up, what needs to be done. We would do practical application presentations. Like I would make sure I'm having things printed out. My presentation is crisp. I'm doing all these things to set myself apart because I care. So work really hard. Don't be unprepared. Mm-hmm. Those are the four big things that me and my other intern, Erin Chambliss, who she's actually now back at Liberty. She
Very
interned there.
cool.
Now she's working with basketball. But we were the same way. We were like, this is how we're going to do this together. And we made the most out of our internship. And now the coaches that we put on our resumes, we're not worried about getting them getting called.
When
and
they pick up the phone, they're going to be like, yeah, no, she's fucking legit.
Right. That was what we hoped of, like, they're going to talk about you. Do you want to get a job?
Yeah.
I have had that conversation. Don't put me on your resume. I have things to say about the internships. I do. I just had this conversation the other day with my office mate. There was a kid that came into our office and was asking about, well, I text this coach and he didn't respond to me. And I said, have you ever done anything for him, or are you just a taker?
Yeah.
Yep.
So interns, people that are out there doing whatever it is that you're doing, are you a taker? Because if you are, I don't want anything to do with you. Yeah. I have enough people taking from me, and I give enough as is, no problem. There's that book, Adam Grant, right? Givers and Takers. I want to be a balance. I want to make sure that I'm taking things from other people and I'm asking, and to your point, remain curious. That's the biggest thing as an intern. Just be curious. Ask why. It's fine. I have no problem. The things that I do are very complex and so complex, or so simple they're complex. Things are so simple. So if you ask enough questions, you're going to understand that it's literally the simplest way to do things. But you're going to see things in the weight room. And when you do, and you don't know or you don't understand it, seek to.
Yep.
And then go give something back to that. Hey, coach, can I try your training program? Can you coach me up in that? Hey, I want to be better at doing these things, right? I want to be better. I want to be a better coach. Okay, are you doing that, or are you just constantly taking things from the program? Because if you're constantly taking from me as somebody in that position to be mentoring you, if you're just taking, and you're not giving back in any way, nobody wants to deal with you. Interns, like, that's one of the biggest things is, can you be curious? Can you be all of those things and being a good intern? But can you also find a way to be a giver?
Yeah.
Whether that means we're cleaning, whether that means you're helping with setup, breakdown. Are you just legit looking at the coach that you come in with that day? Hey, coach, I brought you coffee.
Yeah.
Do you know how easy that shit is? Go
Yeah, literally.
Look, do you know how easy
And
that
it makes
is?
that sounds silly, but it will make such an impact on someone's day.
Sure.
No, I will. You'll, come on.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? Do what you want from me. What can I do for you?
100%.
Like, there are those things that some of the people that I love the most that have been in my life the longest because of internships and they've interned under me, they had that mentality of like, well, what can I give? Because they know they're taking. And you're in that position. You're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be taking things. But can you, as that intern, as that person in that position, figure out how to be a giver also?
I think the two underlying principles, and I think these are things that for me, like, actually they transcend my professional life. So when it comes to like relationships, both like, my friendships, relationship I have with Kelly, my daughter, it's like some principles underpinning relationships in general is like, seek to understand first, which can be very difficult, right? And whether that's, professional or, maybe you're having an argument with your significant other and you get defensive instead of saying, hey, tell me a little bit more about why you're feeling this way, or how, you know what I mean? Yeah. So seeking to understand, but then the other piece that I'm hearing from you, Ashley, that I think is profoundly important, particularly when the goal is to put your best foot forward, is find ways to bring value. And I think that's one of those things that's like so cliche and people hear it, but it's so easy for it to kind of like, sink down or get filtered down to the bottom when you get into the day in and day out in the hustle of grind of whether you're interning or you're running a gym or a podcast or whatever. Yeah. But if that's something that you can crystallize and really cling to, really focus on bringing value, you eliminate being
that guy,
just a taker, and people want to reciprocate. Yeah. And the people who don't aren't the people you want to fuck with anyway.
See ya. Yeah, bye.
And they'll filter themselves out.
They do, but that's the thing too. Is it in all of those things? I think seeking to understand, yes, but just letting somebody know you see them. Yeah, like I see you, and just the recognition of. To me, it's less about like, I don't know that I'm ever going to understand another person. To be honest, like we all have different lived experiences, so there are pieces of the ins and outs that I'm not going to understand. But I can accept you where you're at, and I can try to meet you where you are, or we can come together and make a compromise and meet somewhere else. So interns, I'm happy to meet them where they're at. But are they willing to take steps forward? or I'll leave your ass right there.
Yeah.
Like I'm good with that. Like I will leave you right where I found you.
Yeah.
That's okay. But if you want to walk with me, I'll meet you where you are and we can go together. And that's, to me, as somebody in this position now who I'm, I don't know, 8 years ahead of you. And like, that's what you're preparing to be. Like you are that person who already, we don't like know each other, but like we've had interactions enough for me to know that, like I trained with her yesterday.
I was about to say, I saw y'all ripping weighted chin-ups.
Dude, she
holy
crushed
shit.
me.
Oh my God. Yeah, I saw that Instagram post last night and I was like, oh, yeah. By the way, guys, is there a way we can throw that up while we're talking? Can we find that on my Instagram page? Do we have the capability yet? We might not. We'll keep talking. If they find a way to do it, we'll show it.
Hey, I want to be fucking unreal. I want to be somebody that can do anything. I've had enough limitations in this life. I've been to a point, I've had my times where I have had nothing and had no strength at all. Yeah. And I will never be that way again. I'm going to be this person that is just unstoppable.
What was the weight and rep ranges? Let's brag a little bit here. Come on.
So I started. So to piece all of those things together, I started heavy overloaded eccentrics and isometrics like 2 years ago. Really, like kind of starting to dive into it. And in my own training, I have slap tear in the shoulder. Like I just have all kinds of things going on.
Sure.
So I want to find ways to train. I want to find ways to challenge myself. So I was like, how can I start doing that? So 2 years ago, and we were
yeah, here it is.
Hey,
let's go.
It is. So let's talk about this. Let's break this down just a little bit.
Let's break this down. Have a look at this.
Upper body eccentric. So we start out just with, I don't even know what I would say, 40% of your body weight on that belt, 10-second eccentric.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you're trying to do. So.
And then, it's one rep.
One rep.
Okay.
1 rep, 10-second eccentric. Then you go up to about 60%. Great. Then you go up to 70%. The goal for me is to get to 70% of body weight, which is 90 pounds for a 10-second eccentric. Okay. That should be where I'm at. And then after that, crank out as many as you can. So that's the AMRAP.
So
you got about 20.
The theory, it's like, okay, you're building a lot of strength through the whole range of motion. And then is there, conceptually like a potentiation effect moving into the AMRAP?
So it's a burnout. I mean, we went into the AMRAP chin-ups and I was like, I can only crank out like 8. Like it was it crushes.
This is legendary.
So that, but to the point, right? So your point and what you're saying is like, that's how I started training of like, I want to be somebody who can get up and freaking do anything. And if I'm asking athletes, which I am on a regular basis, if you go look at my programming, I'm asking my athletes to do a 5-second isometric at the top and a 10-second eccentric.
Fuck.
Well, you can do that body weight.
Work.
I'm going to do that with 70% of my body weight added to me.
Yeah.
Like I am going to do things that you can't do. And sometimes that's just a flex. That's all I want it to be. Like that's literally all I want it to be. And then I start things with other coaches. Like I'll put it up online and be like, I'll call out 3 of my buddies and be like, hey, let's go, big boy. Like you at 185 need to be strapping 135 on you.
That's
like,
awesome.
Let's go. So I started that earlier this year.
Some quick math here. Okay, if I woke up at 2:35 this morning,
Oh, you're looking at 165. Yeah, because that's what I had Caleb do yesterday.
Christ in heaven.
Caleb did. So Caleb trained with us too. Caleb, same thing.
Was he
threw
the
on
one with the
165.
beard, big fella? Yeah.
He was awesome. He came and did those things with.
That's cool.
So then it was great. But
what did you guys think of the conference, by the way?
It was awesome. I loved it.
This year, having come last year, this year blew me. It blew me away. I didn't know what to.
Awesome.
I not that I didn't know what to expect. I knew what to expect coming in, but my goal is to support you guys. That's why.
Well, thank you.
Like that's why I showed up.
I appreciate you guys being here too. Yeah, it was awesome. But I did feel like this year was better than last year.
I mean, great. It was. It just was.
Everyone last year was awesome. The speakers were awesome. This year, I feel like people kind of had an idea of what to expect. Because, like year one, like everyone's like, you just don't know what it is. It hasn't been like,
for sure.
You haven't been able to like develop the culture just yet. Mm-hmm. And going into year two here, I was like, oh, like the feeling we were hoping to really manifest. Like I feel like it came into full form this year. Oh, it hit. And dude, the speakers, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, look,
I loved that.
Usually you go to a conference or you go to some continued education and it's like there's one or two where you're like, oh, it was really good. I enjoyed that. And the rest you're like,
Sorry.
I mean, it just is what it is.
No,
every single person
every
crushed.
single NSCA, CSCCA, get your shit together. I wish I was happier about that. Get it together, man.
I have yet to go to either, which feels egregious on my part. But I do get the, some reviews. So I need to go.
I want it to be, that's what I want. What you guys have built is what I want out of those conferences. I seek to go. I want to learn. The only thing that I was missing this year that we had last year was a little more practicality. I want to run practical sessions. Yes. And that's why next year, I'll take you through it. I'll do the ISOs next year. Cool. No problem. But that,
I would love that.
That's what I'm doing. I'm already set to present elsewhere on like my implementation of year-round isometrics. What does that look like? Isometric and eccentric work, like what you're looking at and where all this started for me is like, how can I build robustness in myself as a 33-year-old has been, broken back, broken shoulder, like all of these things. How am I going to do this? Isometrics are incredibly scalable. Eccentric work is incredibly scalable, right? It doesn't have to be this huge, like concentric output is not, you don't have to chase that all the time. And so that's what got me doing things like that. And then she and I just messed around with it with bench as well. And then going in and I hit a Poliquin set with Caleb after that of like a 5, 10, 15. We just smoked. I just smoked our upper body yesterday, and it was great.
I tapped out before that.
She was talking. She just looked. I look over and she's chatting, and I was like, "No, we gonna keep going." Like, Caleb, let's go. Like, Caleb, come on. I'm gonna show you something. And so I had just done bench, and I was like, "We're gonna go, buddy." And we just kept training. And to me, doing that and staying curious about what it elicits, helps.
Yeah.
I have not. I'm 33 years old, and like I can keep up with anybody, and I will continue to keep up with everybody because that's what I want. And women in general, the predictors for longevity for us is muscle mass. Like I don't think I look like a dude. Correct me. I don't know. No. Like these athletes that are so terrified to put on mass. I'm like, I train every day and I put it up, and I will flex. I will put it on social media. I will train in front of my kids because I want them to see that and go like, I want to do that. I want to be like that.
I used to have those, we've talked about this on the show before, because I started it with Gen Pop and big box gym settings. And this was my sort of like baptism into the fire of what most people, there's a lot of commonalities around what particular groups and demographics think what training will do for them or do to them. I think we've progressed. There's still a lot of work to do. But certainly when I began, almost every conversation that I would have with a potential woman who would be a client it was either directly up front, I don't want to get too bulky or too jacked, or like my favorite one was like, well, I'm not trying to get muscles like you. And my internal reaction is like, listen up, Sarah. I have been training hard for these my entire life to get this big. You've got no fucking chance. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I dare you. Good luck, But what would come out is like, well, good news. Training is really, really difficult, and it takes a long time to acquire significant amounts of muscle mass. You're not going to wake up after this session with me tomorrow morning and roll out of bed and look in the mirror and have a jump scare. No. I promise that's not how it works. These things take a lot of time. And we would like both kind of share a little laugh and stuff like that. But, and we've had this conversation too, and then I want to get back to your story, okay? But since it's kind of coming up, navigating that in the female space and college athletics, right? How frequently do you still run into that? Where it's like and then how often do you feel like athletes that want to avoid it, like, are you able to get that information out of them? Like, what's really the underlying thing? Is it that? Is it other things? You guys tell me, because I don't know. I mean,
for me, from the first place I was at to now, it's a weekly conversations. Wow. Like, it's not just this athlete came to me talking about, it is, when I first got to where I'm at now, there was a scale in the weight room, and I guess they had just gotten used to coming in and weighing themselves. And this is freshmen. Me, as a freshman athlete, I was maybe 120 and I'm 145, 150. So the scale is very slippery.
Get it out of there.
And I did. I walked in my first week, I took the scale and I put it in my office, and the girls walk in and they're like, where's the scale? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yep.
And so that's kind of when
None of your
things
goddamn
started.
business. That's where. Yeah.
Yes. And so I started having conversations with them about nutrition. You know, they'd ask me certain things about what do you eat? What do you do? And this and that. So I could tell it was something that needed to be talked about.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, let's have one-on-one meetings because just in passing conversation, this isn't enough. So I sat down with each of them and we talked about
for you.
it. And I just wanted to hear what they had to say. And it was the same things of, you know, the weight on the scale changing and them not pushing themselves in the weight room or something because they don't want to get too big. And
Being a woman's fucking hard, man.
Yeah. And so that's what I love though, is I'm like, okay, I've been through that. I've been through where you're at, the weight gain, the muscle, adding on all these things. But then I could tell them like, listen, first of all, like you said, even if you try so hard, I love your confidence, you're not going to get big unless you're literally eating like John Heck, like 8,000 calories a day and training like a bodybuilder.
It needs to be your primary purpose.
Literally. And so I'm like, first of all, get that out of your head.
Yeah.
Second of all, do you want to be a better volleyball player or athlete? Or do you just want to look skinny?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Don't ask that question because they all want to be freaking skinny, bro. You know that. Like, I just want to be, that's what my kids
I just want to be toned. I just want to be toned.
Get out of here.
That's the one that
Well, to be
kills
toned,
me.
you gotta have muscle.
You gotta have muscle.
You have to. So
You gotta have
that's
muscle,
again,
sister.
There's
Yeah.
just a lot of like myths and things that they think. I'm like,
Correct.
no, actually, you can look more toned, and you're actually gonna be heavier.
Yes.
You can like how you look
say.
in the mirror, but it's your body composition. So that's a big thing. I try to talk to them about body composition. Unfortunately, we don't have major access like a DEXA or something like that. But I'm like, you can feel it. You can see it in how you look. You know, and so. That is what I've loved about I can have that connection with them, but it's constant. It's not, we had one conversation and they're good. There is some deep stuff within female athletes.
Yep.
I still experience it. I bet
Yep.
any female or male included, it is hard.
Yeah, our body dysmorphia is just normalized.
For sure.
So
For sure.
It's just,
yeah.
too small.
exactly.
it's like the
And then everyone
opposite.
laughs. It's like, you know, it's hilarious.
Oh, that guy. But you're right. To
It's
your point.
ongoing.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not,
constant.
it's never going to be done.
Yeah.
No. But to all of that, I agree, and I find myself not having as much of those conversations because we have dietitians and people that are on staff that are covering a little bit more of the nutrition aspect. But for me, I'm gonna roll out and look the way I look.
Yeah.
And be exactly who I am, and my confidence level in myself translates directly into what they see.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak for my kids, but like it's overwhelming the amount of the athletes that I have. They're just like, AK, you're just a badass. And you go, yeah, no, I know that. Like, I know that. But like, you understand that I am training you to be better than me.
Yeah.
And I've been on the opposite side of that scale. I had an accident back in 2016 and I came out of my collegiate career, 135 pounds, like fittest probably I've ever been in my whole life. So out of my collegiate career, came in, had an accident and was 98 pounds leaving the hospital.
Holy shit.
So like that's
Gracious.
something that I am very well aware of what skinny looks like, feels like. So going from, again, my collegiate career, which I was Olympic lifting, I was doing just crazy shit. And I loved my college career. But coming off of that, having that experience and being in the hospital for so long, getting out, being 98 pounds, not being able to sit down on a chair without collapsing, much less do a pull-up, chin-up, freaking push-up, body weight squat, anything else. That's disgusting. To lose your identity like that is crazy. So for me, I go back to that to my kids. Do you want to look like this? Like, oh, who is that? I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, that was me. Like, oh my God.
Do you think having that experience also too, like, you know, did you have a certain relationship with your body and what you were capable of and what that meant to you? And then post, you know, coming back off of that, like, because what I feel like I'm picking up, correct me if I'm wrong, is like probably a tremendous sense of gratitude of having a body that's capable and strong and able and robust. Because when you lose that, or you get a taste of what losing that could look like, it can really fucking reframe what matters.
Yeah, it does. And
is that fair?
No, you're exactly correct. And that's to your point and to everything else. That's what we talk about, is that I do not speak about their bodies.
Yeah.
I don't speak about their bodies. I don't talk oh wow, you look really good today. You're starting to look woo, stop. And too many people do that. Or there are people that will make comments. So I do my best, and I'm not perfect. I'm sure there are things that we say that slip out, but I do my best to consciously not comment on their bodies.
Ever.
I will tell them.
Is it about outputs and performance?
Yes, I will tell them how strong they look, how well they're jumping, how well they're moving.
Fuck yeah.
Right? Okay. And that resonates more than any of the body weight stuff ever does. And they'll still go weigh themselves from time to time. But we have those conversations of, you do know that body composition, that weight on that scale, the number, the actual number, why are you married to the number? What's the difference between 160 pounds and 180 pounds if your clothes fit better at 180?
Yep.
And they're like, do my clothes fit better at 180? I don't know, go check. Like, I don't know. But your body composition is... First of all, I don't care. I'm looking at performance outputs, and there are some athletes that perform better heavier. There are some athletes that perform better lighter. So for me, we're doing this scale of like, where are you at? How do you feel? Where are your numbers at? What do you feel like? How's your diet? How's your sleep? All these things. So outside of all of that, it's modeling what I want to see. They see me eat. They see me train. They see me do. I mean, shoot, social media makes everything accessible.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I started putting the things up that I put up online is I've got young people following me, young girls, young women, moms, these people that are following me that training has been scary for them. I've never been afraid to train. I wanted to get so jacked. My strength coach, when I got to Oklahoma, like I was like, let's go, like me and you, like let's freaking go.
That's
like
awesome.
I want to go. I want to learn how to do this. And I did. I put on 15 pounds my freshman year and like 14% body fat.
That's a different kind of freshman 15 that people talk about. You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah.
It's the best. And so to inspire that in somebody and to say like, hey, I look like this now because it translates into my performance.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation.
For sure.
And then I tell my kids when they're done, I said, do you know the best way to lose muscle mass? Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop training. Go walk every day. I don't like you can put on muscle mass. You can put on muscle right now. And one, you're gonna feel good, you're gonna move well, you're gonna be healthy, and you're gonna have as long in this sport as you wanna have. Mm-hmm. And then after that, if you wanna be done and you're like, my shoulders are too big, aka I feel things growing, then just stop. Stop training.
The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with OVR. In the world of athletic performance testing, OVR has seriously changed the game. From their timing gates, vertical jump testing units, and their velocity-based tracking systems, they're simple, easy to use, reliable, and incredibly precise. And now they've added a force plate into their star-studded lineup. At $14.99, it has a built-in display, is simple to use, and here's the best part, no subscription. That's right, no subscription. They even have an app where you can track all of your athletes, export your data, run live leaderboards, and see your results in real time. Everything you need in one place. If you're not testing, you're just guessing. Click the link in the show notes and gamify your training. As former competitors, as current coaches, as someone working with this demographic population with as intimate an understanding, I think is probably possible. So many male coaches in a field that is still male dominant.
I don't know what you're talking about. I dominate all of those bitches.
Fuck yeah, let's go. How do men struggle with this and knowing how to navigate this conversation correctly?
Sure.
I get, we've had that question come up, and it's usually something to the effect of, as a male coach, how do I have that conversation with and so if we were able to like package up everything that we're talking about right now, what are like some if we have 2 to 3 things that are like, hey, here are the principles of how to navigate this conversation. What are those things? I feel like probably the first one on the list is we're not talking about bodies, we're talking about performance.
Correct.
What are some other things that we can add to that list?
My first thing is just be curious about it. What are they scared of?
Yeah.
You don't know. Don't make an assumption. Don't make an assumption that she doesn't want to get big. What if she wants to put on some muscle?
Yeah.
What if what is her experience with that? Because if you're navigating that, you can create a problem. You can create a problem that doesn't exist.
Problem.
Yes, you can create a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
By I don't know, by poking at it.
Yeah.
So I think that's
it's
the
like
first
having a
piece to me.
splinter and it's just not ready, and you're just I love what you said too about actually, like you identified that this is a reoccurring issue, and you took the time to meet with everyone individually to understand their distinct and individual perspective.
No one's going to be vulnerable in a team group right before a lift. You have no idea what the deeper meaning, like the mental, psychological aspect is. Yeah. That makes a big difference of you have to find the root of it.
So from both of you, I'm seeing a reoccurring theme of seeking to understand. Okay. Yep. Anything else we would add to that list?
I think a big thing for me is because I went through it, I would say it was before college, of just doing all the cardio and trying to be as small as possible. I felt awful. Like I didn't have enough energy throughout the day. I was more moody. I didn't feel good. I looked in the mirror and, you know, I'm as small as I could be. I felt horrible.
Yeah.
Then again, the transition of when I realized, okay, if I want to be an elite performer and I just want to feel good on a daily basis, I need to fuel for that, and I need to be okay with putting on muscle and being okay kind of veering away from the scale and looking at body composition. And I have noticed it's a 180 in how I feel and how I felt performing. So I'll always talk to them in that way of, okay, how do you feel? How do you feel in your skin? How do you feel on the court? Like that matters more than, again, away from what do you look like. Yeah. So I try to keep it in that lens. Yes, exactly. And I try to, like she was saying, is they're looking at you as an example. So whether you're a strength coach, a nutritionist, an AT, they look at you, they look at your life. What are you doing? Are you living it? And if you're not living it, chances are, from me, they're not going to take your advice seriously. For sure.
And they shouldn't, maybe. I mean, I think that's a pretty fair.
Live it.
Yeah. But to exactly what you're saying, do they see me eat? Yes. Do they see me? Do they see me intentionally go about my training? Yes. Do they see me prioritize myself and the way that I feel over everything? Like that to me, when it's lived, when it's something that you can communicate to people, because hey, I care about you. I want to know your history with this. What's your fear? Yeah. If you have some kind of an issue, if you have some kind of history with whether it's food, a bad relationship with food, cool. Maybe that's something that I kick you to a dietitian for, because that's not my business. I am in high performance. Yeah. I am training, and your body just so happens to be the vehicle by which we need to train. Yeah. So that's my messaging, is that this is what's getting you there. You have to be capable in order to do that. So the fueling aspect aside for me, because that's not my wheelhouse, and it doesn't have to be at where I'm at. It's, thank God we have incredible dietitians who work tirelessly to educate them onto how and when and what to fuel, right? There are all those things. But when they see us living it, when they see us readily doing these things on a daily basis and being consistent, and when we're on the road, I'm gonna probably be doing the exact same. I'm gonna be eating with them, right? I'm gonna be having meals. I'm not afraid to eat the cookie. Like, I'm not afraid to go take them to go get ice cream. Yeah, hell like, yeah. I'm
Dairy
not.
Queen
dude,
trip.
Bro.
Little blizzard.
Dude, I will smash anybody who knows me on this. I can't buy Oreos. I will eat an entire.
I heard that.
I will eat an entire pack of family-sized Oreos.
I'll delete a sleeve.
Think about it.
Delete.
Oh no, the whole thing gone. But those are the things that we don't. I have a very healthy relationship with food, and I know that. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Food is fuel, and then outside of that, I don't restrict, because I've been on that side too. Yeah. I've been on a side where I was an athlete, and originally back when I was pole vaulting, I had somebody tell me, "You're too big to do this," and I was like, I am? Like, yeah. Oh, shoot, let me just not eat. Yeah. Well, that didn't fix anything. No, I bet. Then I started throwing, and my coach looked at me, I'll never forget, looked at me, took me to the dining hall, and was like, your job right now is to eat. The second I started throwing, he was like, your job, eat. We're going to put some weight on you, and you're going to compete, like, up here. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, nobody's ever told me that before. Yeah. Like, eat? Nice, let's go. Fuck yeah. And then make that the full circle, when after I had my accident, I was limited to 3 minutes of walking cardio and 98 pounds, just like not understanding anything. And I had people tell me like, oh, this is great, are you just going to try to keep the weight off? Jesus Christ. And I to that and again, what are we doing? No, who knows, but I was like, no, I'm fixing to get absolutely yacked again. And I started training like huge. I'm about to, I was like, no, watch my comeback, like watch this shit. And it took me a solid year. But here I am. I'm definitely not 98 pounds, and I'm definitely not incapable. And so everything that I do, every way that I train, every way that I approach my daily life is one, in gratitude for being here still, because I shouldn't be. For all intents and purposes, I shouldn't still be here. So not only am I going to do that, I'm going to be here for a really long time. And I'm going to live this life strong and capable, and I'm not going to be arthritic, and I'm not going to have, the shoulder might go really fast, but there are issues I'm not going to have. Yeah, relatable. There are issues I won't have because I'm strong.
Yeah.
And I'm fit and I'm capable and I will do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I will have my way in this world. And that's because I am capable.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's what I want to communicate to every other young female out there and every other athlete who's ever had a struggle with that, is that I just want you to be capable.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be a strong man. I don't need you to be a freaking professional lifter for the rest of your life. I want you to be capable. I want you to be able to pick your kids up. I want you to be able to get down on the ground and whatever it is. Like, I want you to be capable, and that's it. And that's maybe pieces into the way that we train.
Yep.
I think the field should be happy. We got, people like you in it, and doing the good work there.
That guy right there.
All right.
Where were we at?
Yeah, we went on
Let's go back. Let's go back.
I remember.
Let's
So
rewind.
you finished interning.
Interning at Liberty, great experience, learned a ton, walked over what you should do if you intern. So then I got a job at Longwood. It's in Farmville, Virginia, the smallest place on earth. It's about an hour away from Liberty. And so
Okay.
the director at Liberty knew the director at Longwood. And so at the time, I'm throwing everything out there, from paid internships to doing a GA, even though I already had my master's, to fellowships, things like that. And I lucky to have this opportunity. It was an assistant coach position. And I worked with, it was softball, women's lacrosse, field hockey, and cross country, and assisted with cheer.
Wow.
So I got that position, and that I had no life, zero life. I literally lived there. That is all I did, because with 5 teams, along with meetings and things like that. So I was there for about 7 months. When I first got there, I helped with the men's basketball team in the summer, worked with them, helped some return to play guys, did more like one-on-one stuff. So that was cool. Again, learned a ton in that. Then I started in that last fall, thrown into the fire. That was the best thing I could have done, though. I failed many times, but I learned so much, and I had to juggle so many things at one time and getting paid less than livable. And so that was an awesome experience. I ate in the dining hall every single day.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good. But then,
All perks.
but I knew that I loved also working with softball. If I were to ever work with another team that wasn't volleyball, softball, I kind of shout out Longwood softball. Loved them. Loved working with them. Awesome team. Honestly, all my athletes at Longwood. But over the Christmas break, I wasn't looking for jobs necessarily. I'd put some things out. If there was a volleyball position, I would apply for it.
Yep.
I just knew that was where my head was at. I wanted to get back into volleyball. I missed it. And so I had a coach reach out to me on Instagram and told me about the South Alabama position.
So awesome.
I know. I was like, thank you, Instagram. It's like the new LinkedIn. Someone told me that this weekend.
Yeah,
It's
I think that's
true.
a
It
very
is.
fair comparison. Yeah, I think that's...
So,
Sorry, Fernando.
I know. But so I started the interview process, and everything just... It just worked. It was closer to home. I worked with it was volleyball, women's soccer, and cross country. Much more livable pay. So all these things that I wanted. So I was like, all right, I got to take this next step. Which that was hard to leave mid-year, but that's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
And so got to South in January. Spent this past semester there, and then now I'm where I'm at. But I think this whole semester with them, first of all, was awesome working with volleyball and women's soccer. Love women's soccer, love my cross country team. It's a different culture, but it's also awesome. They're dogs.
Yeah.
Volleyball, I get it. I speak that language, but it's been really cool to also learn a different sport.
Yep.
And so I've loved it. And I think really the whole semester, what I wanted to focus on was learning everything I can about the athletes, the coaches, how these programs are ran before I am giving my 2 cents too much. And before I'm trying to implement all these different things that I want, because that's going to turn people away. And that was my focus, just the relationship building, the buy-in, the trust. And that has come to fruition at the end of the semester, meeting with the head coaches. They're like, hey, we trust you. What do you, now they're asking me for advice. And now they're like,
awesome.
How do you want this
Very
to look?
cool.
So it's definitely paid off. It was hard, biting your tongue in some situations. You have to, and I know I'm going to continue doing that, and that is okay. That's part of it. So I'm just really excited for this next semester with them to start kind of doing more of the things that I want, because I built the relationships with the athletes and the coaches, and now I have their trust. So that is where I'm at now,
So awesome.
coaching wise.
And a few things. So you recently competed in Apex. I mentioned, a record holder, no big deal. Actually, it's quite a big deal.
God, it's crazy. It's freaking crazy.
And then also bobsled.
Bobsled.
So real quickly, tell us about that. And then Ashley, we're going to get to you.
All right. So a few months ago, I was reached out to on Instagram by someone who, she's a recruiter, but she's also on the bobsled team. And she was like, hey, I love your content, love your training. You ever thought of bobsled? No. Like, no, never thought of it once before.
I bet they saw those jump numbers and said, uh-oh.
I know.
Let's put her in the back. Let's go. Jumpstart this bitch, Erica. Let's go.
So, you know, I just asked her about it, and they have, you can submit a virtual combine or they have in-person combines.
Okay.
And so the in-person combines were nowhere near me. I'm in the middle of the spring semester, and so I was like, you know what, fine, I'll submit a virtual combine after Apex, because most of the skills, there was like a 40-yard dash, 10-yard broad jump, vertical jump, we did them all in Apex. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get my
Let me
videos.
just submit my Apex numbers.
That's what I did, literally, and you were my reference. I put like Tim Riley training, because you were over it, and so I just used my Apex stats in the videos, posted it, submitted it, didn't think a single thing of it. That was a couple months ago. It was right after Apex. Then a couple weeks ago, I get the email from USA Bobsled. Congratulations, you've been selected for rookie bobsled camp.
Wow,
so
sick.
Out of nowhere. And I got the email. I'm like, am I going to do this?
That's next year, buddy. That's
you got to do it, dude.
You do.
I know. And
you
so
really do. That's
like,
next
all
year.
right,
Like,
so
that's one of those things, like, even if you try and fail, it's like, that's fucking awesome. You got to do that.
You do.
The
What an
experience of it. Literally.
Yeah.
I'll come cover your shit. Don't worry. I'll come cover
please. I know.
and tell them I'll come hang out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dude, that's so huge.
Thank
so
you.
cool.
How fun.
I saw it and I posted it. I just said, this is the biggest side quest ever. And I'm so excited for this experience. And the timeline did work out. There's 2 camps. So I selected the first camp, because if the dates were any further out, I couldn't do it. I have my team, so it just happened to be in a period where my team still aren't back yet.
Whoa.
So it's a 10-day camp.
Life's funny like that, man.
I know.
So
That's
cool.
so cool.
I know. So I couldn't get out of it. I was available.
I couldn't get out of it. You
There was
find
no
a reason. There was no reason not to do it.
They're like, all expenses paid. Come. I'm like, all right. So
USA Bobsled's about to get a dog.
Let's go.
I'm pretty fired up.
I can't wait to see that content.
I know. I'm excited.
Dude,
all right. Just the experience and meeting the people and learning how to push bobsled.
Yep.
I'm just excited. I have literally no
It's all going to make you a better coach too.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
That's going to be so, and the people that you're going to meet too. There are a lot of people that are very close. I mean, Lolo, I think Lolo's still going. There are a lot of people. So Lolo Jones, who's at LSU, is doing all kinds of shit. So you're gonna meet a lot of people.
I'm so excited.
Especially former track athletes.
Yeah.
It's a big pool for that.
That's my former. It is. It really is. It is big pool, and then Ryan Ranger.
Yeah, I messaged him.
That guy's a stud.
Yeah,
I
followed his whole journey.
Yeah, I was
same.
like, he's,
very cool.
He's doing stuff like I don't even know how we know each other, but I know he's involved in all that.
Instagram.
I'm like, dude,
Instagram.
honest to God,
it's all
new
Instagram.
LinkedIn, the new LinkedIn.
It is.
But I don't follow that many people, so like I don't know how we got in. Like
how it happened.
Yeah, I don't know how we got in contact, but I was like, this guy's freaking cool. Like, I like this.
Must have been
So
him just like
athletic.
ripping cleans and
Truly,
running,
like,
running
cool.
4.4s. You know, it's like, oh, I'll give this guy a follow.
I was like, damn, he's cool. Yeah, like, he really knows what's up.
All right, Ashley, let's go through your history, and just for the sake of the time here, we'll do. I promise not to side quest us on anything, and we'll give you like the condensed, like
I can give you the condensed version,
and then we're gonna get into some topics.
I love it. Well, I'm going into my 4th year at LSU.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers. That's hard for me to say. So, former Sooner, graduated.
Oh, I see.
Graduated Oklahoma. Have been on multiple, we'll call them side quests ever since, right? Graduated, ran track at University of Oklahoma, threw the javelin for Brian Bluetrick. Best years of my whole life. I've been an athlete my entire existence, but throwing and like just general overhead and rotation in general that's been my stuff. That's been my niche. And I love it. And so I trained it, and I'm coming out of that track and field. We have training experience. I've never not had training experience. Cleans, freaking Olympic lifting, all these things that I was married to coming out of. Get done with that, go home. I worked horses for a while, had an accident, was put on my ass for a couple years.
This was an accident on a horse.
I got kicked in the chest.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's another side quest. We're not going to go on that. But I got launched. I got kicked in the chest by a horse that actually didn't launch anywhere, but landed in the hospital for quite a while back in 2016. And
This is when you lost the weight.
This is when I lost, yes.
Had to rebuild.
Yeah, so Oklahoma 2010 to 2015. get done in 2015, go home and work horses. My family, we ranch and we have race horses. So I've done that most of my life. It's not foreign to me.
Yeah.
And I was working horses one morning and breaking babies. So they don't know how to walk. So you teach them how to lead. And one of them, the baby quarter horses are about as big as a normal ass like horse.
Yeah, these are stud athlete horses.
Yeah, these are stud athlete horses. Jumped, looked at me, grabbed her face, pulled her back to me, and she just both back feet.
Oh fuck, dude.
So yeah, and that's a whole nother story, but we won't go down that. So know that I came out of that after my collegiate career and was nothing. I mean, like literally nothing. I have pictures. I was just disgustingly small after having been an athlete my entire life.
Right.
So I get done with that, and that was August and September of 2016. I was on my ass. Spent the next 3 months trying to stand and walk again and like move, and spent a lot of time in the pool, spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. February hit and I got cleared. So my heart rate couldn't go above, it lacerated my liver really badly. So I could not raise my blood pressure. Like it made my liver explode and I was bleeding out into my stomach.
Oh my
for this whole
fucking
thing.
God, Ashley.
So whatever. But point being, athlete, right? You come off of an athlete, you have that and you're down. I was down here somewhere and I didn't know who I was. My identity was lost. And at this point, I knew I wanted to do something. I had been on the list for PT school. I was doing all this stuff. I knew I needed to go get my master's. Well, I didn't have it yet. So I was like, well, shit, now what? So this is February of 2017. And I was like, I got to get my shit together. So I start just training myself. So if I can say anything, it's like I didn't have help. I was just like, I got to build myself back. I got to use what I know to do this. And I started. And that started my journey into what I'm doing now. Got my master's in an accelerated program that whole next year. So all of 2017 and the first part of 2018, I was just grinding.
Hammering
and I was
it out.
working.
Brutal.
Yes, and I was working. So I went and did an accelerated program at Texas Women's within their adapted program. So I was pretty convinced I was going to work with adapted athletes, wheelchair-bound athletes, amputees, athletes with intellectual disabilities across the board. That's what I thought I was going to do. And I love that shit. Like there are so many. Adapted Training Foundation that's in Dallas. I shadowed with them several times. I did like wheelchair rugby with them. When I tell you that I learned from some studs in that industry, incredible. And Texas Women's has an incredible ATP and APE program, so adapted sport for kids. I learned sign language while I was there. I learned so many things in that year of getting my master's in kines. And it was awesome. And so that really started spurring me forward. And I was like, okay, now I need to like figure out what I'm going to do. So I call some people and I'm like, Adam Kuehl, who's my strength coach in Oklahoma. He was like, yeah, dude, I think you would be a strength coach, like a great strength coach. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, what does that even mean? What do I need to do? So he starts walking me through it and he's like, well, you got to start somewhere. So I start with an internship at the NSCA, get it, right, eventually. And that's where my journey starts with Scott Caulfield. And just people in this industry that have made me, no, I've made me, but who have helped me get where I'm at. They're the people that inspired me, the people that have helped build me, because I made me. I did this. Like there's no point in time like that it was not on me to make these decisions, but the people that have been there, Scott Caulfield, Ashley Jackson, like these people now that are in my life, Donnie Mae, Melissa Schmitz.
Donnie's
like,
just, man, what an incredible human being Donnie is.
Oh, and I mean, Zach. Like,
to know Donnie is to just know it's like this is literally just the 1% of human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these people
Shout out Donnie Mae.
Right, truly, coacher. There are these people now, though, that have been in my life. Scott Caulfield was the first one. So he's the man who taught me like what I needed to know about networking. That guy, like everybody knows his name. If you've been involved with the NSCA at all, you know who Dr. Jack is. Like you know him. So he started that journey for me. And so then he pushed me into going to the Olympic Training Center. So I went and worked at the training center in Colorado Springs. Did that. Kept going through there. And he one day looked at me and he was like, you need to edit this podcast for me. Because at this point I was still working for the NSCA for an extent. He was like, you need to edit this podcast for me. Make sure there's no cuss words. We can't say fuck, shit, piss, on that, none of that. Like you can't say any of that on that podcast.
Sure.
So I'm listening.
That's what this podcast is for.
Yeah. We'll just drop all the F-bombs here. So I'm listening to this podcast and it has Ashley Jackson on it. And she's at University of Michigan at the time. And I start listening and I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
I don't know, like what college strength edition, like that's a thing. Like I know I had a strength coach, but like I don't know much about it. So sure enough, I call her, and so Scott tells me, hey, call her, like figure this out. And that's when my journey started. So I literally called her. She had come down to Colorado Springs to play. They played lacrosse at CU Boulder and I drove up there and I was like, can I take you to dinner and just talk to you? And I just want to get to know you. And she was like, sure, whatever. Like you're kind of weird, but like this kid literally just wants to talk to me. she's in my life now. She'll be in my life forever. Her kids, her family, her wife, like she is somebody that will be a pivotal part of my life for in and out of this profession. And she's at A&M and has shaped me again, like into who I am as a professional. So we worked up at University of Michigan, got called up there, I don't know, a couple months after meeting them. That was was that staff. And that's where my college strength conditioning journey started, was at University of Michigan. Had track and field, love that shit. Like that's my stuff. Yeah. Michigan to Arizona to Mizzou briefly, and then I've been at LSU since 2023 now.
Very cool.
So it's that's my condensed version. And softball, there's no teams I haven't touched outside of the basketballs and football.
You know what's fascinating to me, you said that I picked up on was, you know, you being a former thrower and, you know, and the very limited knowledge. I mean, I've had the opportunity to work with more talented volleyball athletes than I ever should have had access to early on, honestly. I mean, unfortunately, like training went well because I understood some underlying principles around like, you know, what matters instead of just trying to constrain someone into like a method. But we'll get to that. But something that it took me a while to really grasp and understand was like them being rotational athletes and the throwing connection. So when I heard you talk about how you were a thrower and then now being in the volleyball space, I was like, okay, here we go.
Do you want to hit harder?
Yeah.
Throw.
So Anthony Cockrell, who's been on the show, I stalk everyone's Instagram and warm up pregame is that they're throwing the football to each other across the court. And I was like, oh my God, duh. Yeah. And then now, of course, I've got my daughter throwing the football because she's learning how to overhand serve. And like, I'm making it fun. Just like, hey, baby, here's the cone. Throw it farther than the cone. You know what I mean? And I hype her up. Yeah. And then the validation I got, I took her to a local club coach, and she's a legend here in Austin, Texas for Skyline. Shout out Jenny Luke. She said, you know, the best thing she can do right now, apart from like, you know, some of these little drills, is just have her throw a football. And I was like, I knew it.
Yes.
I was like, I was right. Yeah. So, okay, you guys are at like just, you know, different places along the plot line of your career, working with volleyball athletes. You know, Erica, what's allowed you to make the biggest impact right now? And then once you knock that out for us, I want to kick it over to you, Ashley. How have you been able to have longevity at like all those school names you just dropped? Okay, let's just get that out of there. Yeah. You're a big dog. Like those are all big dog spots. It is what it is. Okay, you don't get to say anything else about it. It is what it is. Okay, so Erica, how have you been able to make an immediate impact?
I think the biggest thing for me is how close I am to being the athlete with them. You know, my last year playing was 2024. So the proximity and age can be challenging, but I've also seen it as a benefit. Yep. Because I feel it, I get it, you know. So I've definitely leaned into that of, like I said, when I first got to South, how can I build these relationships and get them to trust me? And that was the biggest way we connected, is relating everything we were doing to the sport, to their position. I feel what they feel. And so that was the biggest thing for me that allowed me for them to trust me. So it was like AK was saying, is they see my Instagram and they see me train. Again, I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it because I love it. But I had one of the girls come up to me, and it was at the end of the semester, and she was just like, this is the most fun and enjoyment we've had training, because we see you doing it and it's working for you and it's working for us.
Hell
and
yeah.
You're kind of telling us why, but you're relating it that we can see, okay, this is how it's related to making us better volleyball players. It's not just lift really heavy and whatever, you know. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've been able to make an immediate impact on, is getting them to trust me, because I've been in their shoes quite recently.
Yeah.
So
do you ever get to jump in there and mix it up with them and play, or do you? No.
Oh man, come on.
Okay, I've gotten to serve at them a little bit.
Okay.
I've gotten to serve, but no, it takes everything in me. There were a couple practices where before they start, I'll get one of the coaches. I'm like, you want a pepper? Or you want to like play short court? Or like, can you serve at me a little bit? I still got it.
I still got it. Yeah.
Pepper?
Yeah. You want pepper?
Yeah.
No, literally, I sit there at practice. I'm like,
She's like
I'm
Tyrone
gonna do
Bigum's,
that.
just like waiting
Literally.
to get in. Yeah.
Eyeballs twitching.
Yeah.
but
hell
also
yeah.
it's pressure because if I'm out there and the girls start coming in, I'm like, I gotta lock in.
Yeah,
I gotta,
that's right.
I can't look like a little bitch.
I know,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't. So I mean, it's fun. That's why I love working with volleyball because I also get to scratch the itch of I freaking miss playing, you know? And so being around it and actually being able to still hop in and play, or there's a lot of leagues and things like that me and the coaches play with, like it's the whole the whole thing. And the girls know I still play. So it just kind of goes into that of I'm trying to make myself better still as an athlete, and I'm doing these things, and then I'm using it on them because if it's working on me and I've done it for so long, all right, here you go. And now it works for them too. Yeah. So it's just kind of like a full circle.
I love that. Awesome. So we immediate impact. Everybody take notes. She's walking the walk. She's doing the damn thing. You know, we get that question here often too. It's like, as someone who's never played insert sport, how do I build validity? You know, how am I able to garner trust? I think there's a lot of ways to do that. But if you have played and you did it at the same level they're doing it, you know, and even if it's not the same sport, like if you you know, did the damn thing, you were high level as a competitor, that's something that translates. Okay, AK, how have you had longevity, and how have you been able to continually put yourself in a position to be at big schools that are doing real things?
There are a lot of things. One thing I do want to say, and to your point, I don't train for them, but I have them in mind when I do.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing to me with training and why I train, because I love it, but I definitely have the athletes in mind. I don't do it for you. I don't do it to prove anything to you, but I do have you in mind when I'm doing these things.
Yep.
So suffice it to say, how have I stayed at this level? Well, I wanted to be done quite a while ago. It's hard. This job fucking sucks. This job sucks. There are times, I mean, right now, I'm just gonna be very honest. Like the college setting is not for everybody, and you have to be a little bit messed up. Like I'm a little unhinged at certain times. I'm waking up at 3:30 every morning right now because I've got 2 kids that have internships all day that need to train at 5 a.m. So like, this isn't for everybody, and I'm going to tell you that right now. And I say that with my full chest because everybody has this idea of, oh, logo, oh, LSU, oh, Arizona, oh, Mizzou, oh, Michigan, oh, you've been at these big dog schools like you are. Yeah, I am, but I'm also a little unhinged.
Paying a price.
Yeah, and you pay a price family-wise. You pay a price with your time. You pay all kinds of prices to be at these levels. So how have I stayed? How have I stayed here? The people, right? Is the biggest thing, is that creating relationships and creating family where I go, and like little things like this. Like we've talked on the phone before we ever saw each other in person.
Yeah.
Creating connection and actually that's one of my biggest things is I want to create connection from you to me, from across schools. Like I said, the Texas staff is probably, Melissa Schmitz is one of my best friends. Mel is somebody that I can go to for anything, and she's a connection I've made as a result of being in this field. Ashley Jackson is at A&M. Like, there are people that I love that have been in my life and become family because of this field. That's kept me in it, because why would I depart from that? But I'm building an empire right now, and just on my own, of I know I'm going to leave it. College athletics isn't somewhere that I think you should come and stay and die.
Yeah.
Like, there are too many old and okay. I'm going to probably get
rephrase.
No, I'm not going to rephrase. There are too many old people in this field right now, like older directors who probably have no business being in this field anymore because they've lost curiosity.
Yeah.
They've lost curiosity for the field. They've lost their drive to do better and to do more. And the athlete is in the front of my mind. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And I think you speak the same language there. Like, I'm doing what I'm doing for you. And it's a very, I want to say it's selfless all the time, but it freaking is on my level. I'm not in women's basketball. I'm not in men's basketball. I'm not in football. I'm not making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. That's what they're making now at those levels. Good for them.
Yeah.
There's a point on the Olympic side where you're not, and you have to accept that, and you need to know that going in. You need to understand what you're signing up for. And I love it. I just legitimately love my job. And there's the reason I've been able to stay at a high level, and the way that I've been able to stay at a high level, is my connections.
Yeah.
Where I make my home, and then the time that I set aside for myself. I think that when I wanted out in 22 and 23, really. Like, when I was at Mizzou, I wanted out. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm finished. I'm going to walk away. I'm just going to go find something else to do. Because, like, this is awful. I'm not having a good time because of the constraints on my life at that point.
Yeah.
I wasn't having time for myself. I was working 13, 14-hour days in the summer. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And me getting to LSU was just me using my connections. Hey, I'm going to come down here and visit, and I'm going to meet some people and talk to people, and I end up talking to my boss. And if you want people to stay in this field, if you want people to live and thrive in the college setting, give them their lives back.
Yeah.
You have to have that balance. And if you're not in a basketball or you're not in a football is even worse. I think football might be
insane.
Football might be substantially worse. But if you're not at one of these schools where you're a one and done sport, you just have to create time for yourself. Like, and I've learned how to do that finally, and compartmentalizing my life. And there is no such thing as work-life balance. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
People say that.
Yep.
It's not a thing. Yep. I love my life. I'm happy to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to go do my thing with my dogs, go walk my dogs, have my coffee, show up at 4:45 at the facility to have these kids in at 5:15 because I freaking love them. And then at 11 a.m. or noon, done, son. I'm out.
Yeah.
I've been here. I've done my job. Everything's done for the day. And I have the freedom to do that in the place I'm at. So creating that balance. My director is phenomenal. Melissa Seal is my director and worked under Tommy Moffitt. She's incredible.
Wow.
Yes. She's
Stud.
a dog. She's a freaking dog.
I mean, it's a consistent theme, because I've never worked in the collegiate setting, right? So many of my friends are in the collegiate setting, so I'm just like the guy on the sidelines, like, oh, it's like there are some things that seem really awesome, and there are other things where it's like, oh my God, like I'm great. One of the
Thank
things.
God I don't have to deal with that.
100%, and like, so much around what I hear and what I see in terms of frustrations or things that make frankly, the quality of life less than ideal at a lot of stops for people are just like who their boss is and like the culture set around like what the expectations are of that department. Something I've also detected is like there really is this huge chasm between like the people who are moving the needle forward in the performance space and where they're at and the things that they value. And then like there's kind of like an old guard of like, hey, this is the way it's always been done. This is the way I had to do it. And this is the way we're going to do it, motherfucker. And there's a big divide there at a lot of places. I do think, again, it appears, and again, this is a guy speaking from the sidelines, so I'm not in it. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt.
But that's great.
But that's what I'm seeing. Is that a fair critique or observation, I guess is a better word?
It is.
I think also, I was talking to Mallory about this too when I went to visit her, is
Jordan's awesome, by the way. That's her boss.
I
Jordan Nilsson. Jordan Nilsson's amazing. Shout out, Jordan.
I keep hearing
Shout out, Jordan. Jordan's freaking great.
But we were talking about training and kind of the same thing of, I was just asking her, and we were both talking about how long we wanted to be in college athletics and the struggles, but the good. She's like, I didn't realize really only about 25% is actually training and coaching. 75% is managing and the plannings and the meetings and the this and the that. That me, being in the position I'm in, I didn't realize all the behind the scenes until I'm in it now.
And how can you know?
Right.
You got to get in there, buddy. you got to get in there. And to your point, though, like that, to me, that's the stuff I detest. I detest all of those things. I want to train athletes.
Yeah.
And I want to get curious about what's working and why. And so that leads me into, again, why I'm probably still in the field. I have the freedom to do that. I can be curious about what I'm doing and take on those other responsibilities. I do other things. I do administrative work, whatever we do, the planning, meetings, all of those things, and they have a place. But I think the best places have people who want that, who want to remain curious and want to do what, to your, like everything that you're saying too, is Mal's one of those people. She's curious. She wants to know what's next. You had Mallory. You've met Mallory.
She's awesome.
You know who she is.
Awesome.
Like, there are great human beings in this field that we just happen to know and value, and that those are the people that are actively still doing. They're still training. They're remaining curious about, hey, what is a better way? And for like that's huge to me. And that's going to keep you in this field, because you're going to constantly be seeking out better ways, and you're going to be part of the or you are going to have the responsibility of creating this for the next generation.
Yeah.
I want innovation. I want new. We don't have to stick to old school things And if it does, if you stick to old school things, good for you. Does that work for you?
Right.
Great. Cool. Do you want to do something new? Great. Cool. Does it work?
I think the thing that I struggle with, and this isn't just limited to this space, but like in general, is like adhering. What's the saying? Tradition is peer pressure from the dead. Like just doing things because ever since I was a kid, maybe this is like, partly my personality, the ADHD. I have a beef with arbitrary. If you can tell me why I have to be in the building 13 hours a day and it's a good reason and it makes sense, all right, let's do the shit.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me that I'm supposed to be in the building just because I'm supposed to be in the building because that's what you do because you're a coach, because you're in the building,
It's a waste.
I can't accept that. I can accept that that's the way you do it, but I'm not going to swallow that pill. I've never been that way personally, which, hey, maybe that's why I was perfect. I ended up in the private sector. But you were saying that like you and Mal were having a conversation around a similar topic. I'm interested to see what the agreeances were on.
It was that if you do not absolutely love and are so passionate and driven by that 25%, the 75%.
It's going to
make you miserable. And you know, that's not to say that even me being so early on, there were periods of weeks or months I'm like, I'm burnt out from this.
Yep.
But going back to the why you're doing it. So for me, I explained my why earlier. And you really have to love that 25% if you want to stay in the collegiate setting, because that 75% is a part of it. So you got to, take what you can get.
Yeah.
But you're totally right. Like it is. It's that, but that's the piece of what is it? It's just compartmentalization and balance for you, right? Like, can you figure out how to make it work?
The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with Aleco. Let's go! Not only is Aleco found in 85% of Power 5 schools, but they also offer at-home solutions from racks, flooring, rigs, barbells, bumper plates, your favorite accessories like straps and weightlifting belts, you name it, Aleco's got you covered. Go to aleco.com/coachemup and get access to the same equipment that they're using in the best facilities with the best athletes on the planet. I've got a scenario for you guys. This is gonna be open discussion. I think I can blend these two things as I'm looking at my notes here. By the way, for everybody listening and watching, I've gotten some comments over the past where it's like people who probably are new to the show, they're like, is the host staring at his phone? Well, it's like, motherfucker, I'm taking notes, okay? I'm taking notes. This is where the notes are. Maybe if I get a laptop, would that make it better? For Christ's sake. So anyway, boom, okay? We're into the next season. You have a new wave of athletes coming in. Generally speaking, with a new class of athletes, what are like the big 1 to 3 things? If you paint a broad brush, these are the things that we got to go after, whether that be physical qualities or abilities. What are those things? Let's bounce back and forth. We'll start with you first, Erica. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I'm going to keep it very simple. So first of all is, how do they move in the basic movement qualities? Squat, hinge, push, pull, carry. Okay, we're starting at that baseline. So whether that's I've done a movement assessment, but also when we get into the, their first block as a freshman, we're teaching them all the basics. So I'm analyzing how they move. Those are my big things. Can they squat well? What is it's
how
also
frequently is the answer no, by the way?
I'm going to be honest. A lot of volleyball players I've worked with, generally pretty good. Obviously, you get the taller athletes, the longer limbs. That's where it gets
you got to
tricky.
find a way.
Yes.
Pop those
However,
heels up. Yep.
I've been lucky so far of that. They move pretty well, which is good. So I just want to make sure they can safely execute, a squat.
Because I get some football players that have been in strength and conditioning programs for a long time, and I'm like, all right, let's do an RDL, and I go, fucking stop that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Where have you been doing that? It's impressive you have 3 plates on, but please, sir.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so
it's their movement quality and their range of motion over the amount of weight that they're doing. So I think a lot of times I've had a couple athletes come in, they're like, well, I've been doing this training and this. I'm doing this weight on my back. And I'm like, yeah, because you're doing a quarter squat. Like it doesn't matter. So when they can't come in, it's like I tell them I am more concerned about how you move. Can you move safely before we're going to load it up? And I just want to I do a lot of like front loading. I'm not big on the axial, like the back back squat and things like that. Not that it's wrong at all.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just, can they move well in these basic movements that we're going to do a lot? Because the foundation is, I just want to make sure that they move well so that I can develop strength and not add, what is that saying? Something Gray, FMS, he was like, don't add strength to dysfunction.
Got it.
And so it's just make sure they have that solid base before I start stacking things on there because.
Great Cook, I believe.
Yes, there you go. So that's where my mind goes when freshmen come in.
Very cool. AK.
Everything has to be scalable. I don't do movement assessments. We train.
Yeah.
We come in and we train. So I've departed from that. As a young coach and early in my profession and as of a couple years ago, you'd have like weeks. I would have weeks where I'm like, I'm going to do this movement assessment. I'm going to see, let's train.
Yeah.
And let's do the let's do the simplest, most scalable version of my training, which day one, week one, and you can go look and see exactly what I do on day one with volleyball. Like you can get on and I put all that, I make that very public so you know exactly what I do. We get on the force plates, right? But I warm them up. The warm up is my movement assessment. I'm looking at them. My returners, I know what y'all look like. Newbies, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
I'm creating a warm up that shows me. So that's the big thing for me is that I just want to see you warm up. I want to see if you can access deep positions, right? Any deep tier things that we're doing. I purposely put landing stuff on day one, right? Deep tier landings and drops, depth drops, isometrics. So I can see what positions you can access and which ones you can't.
Yeah.
So I don't do a whole lot of the movement pattern assessments or any of that. I'm not going to say I don't do a lot. I don't do any.
Yeah.
I don't. So we train. We immediately go into training. So day one, week one, like of them walking into the weight room for the first time, it's the warm up. I'm going to see how you move. And then everything that I do is scalable. I will give them suggestions and we'll have things up and I'll tell them, hey, I would prefer if you zerchered. But any bilateral squat here works for me. What are you comfortable with? What's your history training?
Hell yeah.
Oh, I don't have a history training. Cool, you're going to do exactly what I say then. Like,
yeah, perfect.
Truly.
Perfect.
Like,
yeah, you're going to do this.
But that is my style, and that's the culture I've built with my volleyball team specifically is one of guided autonomy.
Yeah.
Hey, here are your options. What do we think?
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I would like to see today. How do you feel? So that way, I do have a kid who's ready to just absolutely go ham on zerchers. She's ready to load them up. She's ready to hit my 3-point isos, which again, I want to see what positions you can access and where you can maintain and what we need to work on. And then we progress from there. So I'm a little less conventional on that these days than I used to be.
You know, you love tempos, you love isos, a lot of eccentric work. You were telling me in college your best gains came from that. Anthony Cockrell, again, I'm just going to keep referring to him because I like him and he's been on the show.
He's great.
He's great. Anthony's the fucking man. I want y'all's opinion because I have an opinion and I think you guys have a higher level of expertise. So I'm asking to be educated here. I feel like for jumpers, particularly volleyball athletes, it feels like eccentrics and tempos and loading through range of motion have such a profound effect because it's just a good way to not only build strength, but do it in a way that is going to promote or lend itself to also maintaining or improving tissue quality in a sport where you are jumping over and over and over and doing the same movement pattern and that approach jump over and over and over. And, you know, as someone even personally and then professionally, I'm trying to move the needle on my performance. And as I've gotten older, certainly I'm like, oh, I better be doing isometrics and I better not just be hammering out these 12 reps on this leg extension. I better milk it a little bit or else this quad tendon or this patellar tendon is going to be cranky. Anyway, I say all that to say that as an observer, okay, and then through personal research, okay, I'm something of a scientist myself. That feels like why that can be so potent in the volleyball training space. Am I anywhere in the ballpark here? Any critiques, criticisms, and what am I missing?
I don't think you're missing anything. I think the field in general and strength coaches who work with volleyball are missing isometrics. I will hammer that home. That'll be the thing I talk about for the next, I don't even know how long. Isometric and eccentric work are what are building robust athletes.
Yeah.
Your concentric outputs will happen. They will come.
Yeah.
Like they're all they're doing is like it's
Yes.
in sport over and over and over again. So you come into the weight room, and I've worked with several other teams. I've consulted with other strength coaches that have called me and been like, what is so different about your program? Well, go look now. I'm putting everything out there. You can go see exactly how
I love
I'm
that you're
training
fucking
volleyball.
doing that, dude. I'm so sick of the gatekeeping era.
I don't give I don't give
I
not one
fucking
single
hate it.
fuck.
It's like my brother in crime. Like, I know coaches, I'm not going to say names because I don't want them to get in trouble, who have not been able to present at conferences because their particular school, their bosses don't want them sharing information that could give another school an edge. They have some sort of secret sauce.
Oh, well, here's the thing. And this is what I tell my coaches. Well, I want to beat them at their best too. So there will be no excuse when we go and hammer on somebody. No, you knew exactly what we were doing.
Yeah.
No, I want to beat somebody else at their best too. But my goal is health and longevity for athletes, not just mine.
Yep.
I want everybody to be okay. I don't want your kids to experience patellar tendinopathies. I don't want
Yeah.
these kids to experience Achilles tears. Do you understand that, like, athletes, generally speaking, in our field, if I can do better, I'm going to be better, and I'm going to educate other coaches in the process.
Yep.
They don't have me. I am what makes my program work. She can run my program. I can give her my program, my sheets. I can post my program all day long. You can't run my program. You're not me.
Yep.
That doesn't matter. Like, I don't, that's the thing too, across the board. That's why I'm not scared to put my stuff out there. I'm not scared to put everything that I want out there, so that you as a coach, if you come to me, Tim, and you go, hey, I see you're doing this, this, and this, that's not doing what you think it's doing. Oh, educate me. I want to know, right?
Yeah,
that's
tell
part
me.
of, like, that is, Devin Young got me doing that. So Devin Young is at Pitt, shout out. Aaron Duval, all those guys up there are great. But Devin Young was the first one to start doing that. He started putting up his programs. He's like, I put up my programs on there, like literally typos and everything, kettlebell swings,
misspells.
scats. Yeah, like he's like, these are all the things that we are doing. And I was like, Dev, I'm going to do that.
Hell
Because
yeah.
like, I want people to know what we're doing. I want people to know why we're so successful. I want people to understand that we don't experience those soft tissue injuries and those tendinous injuries. We don't. Not anymore. Because of what we're doing and what the steps that I've taken in my profession. I want her to know now.
Yep.
I want her to know that right now. I don't want to be this gatekeeper where it's like, well,
Yeah.
I got this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to learn.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Good
educate
luck.
you. Yeah, yeah.
See you in 8
No.
years.
Yeah, see you in
Hell
8
no.
years.
I'm gonna educate you, and this is not just for volleyball. This is for basketballs. This is for everybody.
Football is still very much so this way.
Hey, and you know what? If they want to hide their stuff and like gatekeep and do whatever it is and just like have fun curling barbells in the gym, whatever it is they do, I don't really know. I'll never know. I'll never
know.
And that's again, I don't care. But I've had
Yeah.
those conversations where I want full transparency on my end, because when you see and that you experience my training sessions, like, I don't want you to have a question as to why we're successful, or
Yeah.
why this athlete is suddenly available when in the past she hasn't been available, or why I can get an athlete that has been at LSU for 2 years jumping 6 inches higher.
So epic.
Like, I have a senior who has put on 4 more inches. Who that doesn't make sense genetically. Like, she should have been kind of capped out probably sophomore year. Put 4 more inches on her last year. And like, there are things that are happening where the outputs will come. The outputs will happen. But how am I as the coach diving into whether it's eccentrics to me or the isometrics, like low cost, high value methods? I'm a problem solver. That's it. And then I'm asking the athletes to solve a problem, not just listen to me say something or cue something or whatever. Like, I'm asking you to solve a physical problem, and I'm solving the movement problem on the back end, or however we get there. So it's the most fun. And like, you're exactly correct. Getting too far away from the isos, they're not just rehab.
Yeah.
They have a place in our training. Overcoming, yielding, omni, like quasi isos, they all have a place in our training. And I didn't understand that until this last year. And we ran this cycle last year. And again, availability through the roof. We're no longer seeing the issues that we were seeing from a soft tissue standpoint.
Yeah.
I want to create robust athletes who can jump forever as long as they want to, and the rest of it will come. The height, all that stuff comes out of it. Like, it's so much fun.
The patellar tendinopathy, I think it was, I forget where I heard it. I'm going to credit David Gray, but it's really just decelerators knee, actually. Like, it's the sudden rapid eccentric stopping that will piss that tendon off if the muscle and tendon aren't working in conjunction. And really, frankly, if like you don't have the strength Like the muscular strength, that's it. Like if you don't have the tissue quality or tolerance to be able to handle those forces over and over again. You know, I feel like what also happens with volleyball players, like typically longer legged, it's easier to like move away. Like everyone wants to hinge their squat, or it's like, you know, we're doing Bulgarians or a single leg exercises, and you look and it's like, that shit is vertical. Like the quad isn't actually getting trained there. And again, this is me just like kind of projecting my observations, because another place this happens that isn't talked about enough is football. Dudes be having patellar, but the culture is like, yeah, your tendon hurts, so what?
Go harder.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
Bitch. Yeah, you little bitch, go harder.
3 rep max today, back squat, and you look and it's like the knee isn't even bending. It's just a hinge. And I think about that too in volleyball, where it does feel like athletes I've received, I'll be like, how you feel today? They're like, yeah, great. And then like we get into it and they're I see them rubbing their patellar tendon. What the fuck is that? They're like, oh, I've had this for 4 years. I'm like,
it's my
bro,
jumper
what?
seat. It'll never go away.
Yeah. I'm like, it doesn't have to be this way. Anyway, I'm ranting now.
Did you ever experience that as an athlete? Sorry.
Please go.
Not to jump aside, but
So, well, what I was going to say and related to like the tempo work is, like I said before we started, volleyball players during club, you play on a concrete floor with sport court from ages, we'll say 9 to 18 years old.
Dude.
Okay, so I was a libero, so my knees didn't suffer as bad. But for my teammates who were jumping and landing, yes, they had knee problems, and they go into college with that. Also pairing it with, volleyball is it's concentric based outputs all the time. And so with the tempos, like we were saying, when you get them to do that sort of training, it's a new stimulus that is going to help them in many different ways, like AK said, but also it's going to help the outputs. But it's going to keep them healthier.
It only makes it better.
It only makes it better because volleyball players are so used to the high outputs, but then their body can't handle all the hard-hitting D cells, obviously.
Yeah.
So we train it.
Yeah, but again, for me, I didn't experience that as much because of my position, but for the hitters and the setters do, you know, their little jumps every time they set. So it's a big deal. But you got to look at the 8 years before they came into college.
Yeah.
So it's going to take time. That's a lot of damage. So.
And more is better, you know.
Right. Of course.
More is better.
10 games in a weekend that's doing it.
Yeah. Good job, girls. Okay. Let's get into our Q&A.
Oh, let's go.
I'm very excited. This one is from friend of the show, Zach Zillner. Erica, longtime listener and caller. What are some things you thought were dumb as an athlete, training-wise, that you now use as a coach?
Oh, that's a great question. Lifting.
Training?
Period.
Actually? Training?
No, like actually.
Literally lifting, yeah.
I thought it was dumb.
Yep.
Hid in the bathroom, so.
I love that.
That was my favorite.
Short and sweet.
No, say like the fact that you hid in the bathroom in club is.
So sorry to my club strength coach.
That's okay.
So.
I think she probably understands, you know, or he. AK. Also from Zach Zillner.
Zach was just in your
Zach
DMs.
was in the question box last night. Yeah. Thank you for getting active on socials and sharing your creativity. Part 1. Part 2. When exploring new movements, what are your thought processes when you decide if a new movement would be good to use with your athletes? What's your order of operations?
I love that. First is, does it fit with the quality that I want to see? And that's what I am not married to movements, and I'm not married to methods. Exercise selection is the last thing I do. The goal for the day is the goal for the day regardless. So when I'm exploring a new movement pattern or a method, it's what is that giving me? I'm not married, like I said, I'm not married to one way. I'm not sitting here going, well, we're running the conjugate for here and we're going this way and we're going to train this. I don't think that way. I think it's what I call it now, and I feel so weird and cringy when I say it, but it's a system.
Yeah.
I've created a system that works in conjunction with the qualities that I want to see. So right now, for example, I want to create robust jumpers. So what am I doing to do that? First of all, it's deep tier work, landings, isometrics. I'm creating robust tendons and tendons that can handle load.
Yeah.
And then I'm creating great position specific movements. And I don't say position specific as in position specific to sport, position specific to the ones that are going to give me the quality I want to see from you.
Yeah,
that's the adaptation, right? That's what I want to see. So that's my thought process. And when I'm going through whatever it is, like when I started doing the rear foot elevated releaser squats, like however long ago that was, my thought process there was, again, capacity building and robustness. We're handling an eccentric on the way down, we're dropping one load, and we're continuing to move through.
So sick. Love that. Okay, this is from Caleb.Badgley. For vertical development, what qualities do you think are most undertrained? You each get one. Okay, we're going to start on AK. That's how we're going to do this. We're going to go bounce back and forth. Okay, AK, you first. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
The first quality that I think is undertrained? I'm sorry, I think I misunderstood the question. When it comes to train, like
for straight up vertical jumping ability, what's the quality that you find in your athletes? I'll make it more specific. That is the most undertrained. First thing that comes to mind.
Stiffness. Like in volleyball players, like laxity is not your friend when it comes to like an approach. You want to be relaxed going into the jump, but then your stiffness, your ability to brace, hit the ground and elevate or change direction, I guess is really, I think it's undertrained. And so for me, that's something that I underpin every day is, can we brace and can we move through movements and be stiff, right? In our pogos and some of the series that we do.
Fuck yeah.
Eccentrics.
Eccentrics.
It's when I played, me and all my teammates, it would be after we would do an eccentric block or something. I mean, our verticals were just shot up. And so that's when I started to dive into, okay, why is that? And so that's something that I do a lot in my own training. And that's why I've still personally been able to see increases. But I do the same thing with volleyball. So this past off season, we hammered the eccentrics. They didn't like it. It was also a novel stimulus to them because none of them had done that a ton.
Sure.
All their verticals went up. Again, I'm not saying, that could have been accomplished in other ways, but I do think that it's undertrained.
It was a pretty useful way to get it done.
Yeah, for sure. If it's something they don't normally do.
Did you have an average vertical height for the team of improvement? Do you know?
I have to look back. I mean, one of the main girls, I mean, she would get on that force plate. She'd be so fired up to jump on it. Other ones were like, I don't want to jump on this thing. It's humbling, the hands on hips.
Yeah.
But I mean, she came in probably that January, and I think she's going to be a junior now. And she was jumping like 15, and then she's hitting like 18. Easily, and it's just it was fun. I'd put the leaderboard up on the screen.
Yeah, let's go.
Some girls didn't like that, but I don't know. So eccentrics, that's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah, and the underpinning. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh man, this is just a fun question. Manny_at_upstream. Do we think there are more dumbbells or more weight plates in the world?
In the world?
In the world. What are there more of? Are there more dumbbells in existence, or are there more weight plates in existence?
There are certainly more plates.
Yeah.
I don't know how many dumbbells you have.
Plates.
Yeah.
Plates.
I don't know how many dumbbells you have in your facility, but I got 14 times the amount of plates.
Well, we're getting like power blocks now. I don't know if those count. But
power blocks suck.
I hate
Sorry.
power blocks.
Don't worry, they don't sponsor the show.
I'm not a fan. They're great if you gotta save some space, but I don't want them in my
personal use. Maybe
I don't want them in my training.
The garage, perhaps.
They're probably great in the garage. I love that for everybody that uses them. Power blocks. This is not personal.
Schmel19. We're going to start with you this time.
It's Melissa Schmitz.
Walk us through your process of what health/care for the shoulder looks like throughout the year.
Two things: mobility, and then second is strength. So I think it's easy I worked with softball too, and that was kind of a big thing because they're throwers and stuff, but don't shy away from building strength in those overhead and those awkward positions. So I think that's definitely the underlying. If you can strengthen those positions, that's going to help you out whenever you get into season and you're using that a ton. And so that's something we focused on a lot in our off season with volleyball is, we're pressing overhead. We're doing a lot of landmine. We're doing YTWs, things like that.
Yep.
No, it's nothing crazy, not a ton. And we had some girls that had some nagging shoulder issues before I came in. Again, not saying that this is the only reason that it was at bay, but they didn't really have many issues because we were training their shoulders in ways that everyone's a little different. But just basic strength training. Don't be afraid to strengthen those positions. But then when we go into season, I definitely will back off a little bit, especially when it's getting closer to game days and things like that. But in the off season, I wanted to hammer it because I know it would help them for when we're in season, and they're using their arms a ton. I mean, they still were in the off season. So
sure. AK.
Mobility is not it for me, so I disagree on that, and not to slight that, but that's the most mobile joint we've got at the shoulder. The last thing I need for them to learn how to do is move that more. So mine is actually like stability in the shoulder and just pure on strength in weird positions. Yeah. Like I want to see you catching. I want to see you hanging. We master the chin up. We're doing it. I've got kids who we didn't touch a concentric chin for all of the off season. I had kids coming in that could not do them, and we left the off season with, I don't think anybody couldn't do one. There are points at which like that backside strength matters more to me than your ability to move, but to access positions. To your point, to be able to access positions is why I use isometrics. Isometric strength. If you're a pitcher, this is the way I think about it in baseball terms, and you want to get to a better layback position, you have to be able to access it. It's not a mobility issue then, it's positional strength. So that's part of why I use isos, is I want to create stiffness and I want to create tension points at the shoulder that are a little bit more specific to what they need to access and position, like we talk about isometric being position specific strength. So I shy away from the mobility aspects of it all, and we really go into strengthening backside. Like I do want to do a lot of rowing. I want to do a lot of pressing. I want to do overhead pressing. I want to do friggin' neutral grip benching. Like you have to create areas for the shoulder to not be impinged. That's one thing. But the way I think about it is that, right? So yes, strengthening everything that she's talking about, I agree with. And then throwing. We throw the shit out of some plyo balls. Some of the small plyo balls. And that exposure, I think, is one of the things that will help keep them healthy throughout the course of a season, swinging, and not just for the concentric action or like the actual throw itself, but for sequencing. Proper sequencing. Your arm is just the output. This is just the output. Everything else is happening from the ground up. Your trunk is the power translator, and everything leaves through your hand. Yeah. You're not hitting harder because your arm is stronger. You're hitting harder because the sequencing is better. So sequencing is king and all of that. But just for arm and shoulder health is robustness. Train.
Love it. Okay. I like this. All right. AK, you're going to go first this time. Anthony Adams Performance wants to know, what's something that you believe in that 99% of other coaches would disagree with?
Brother. I love this kid. So he's at TCU. He's great.
Okay.
Anthony, he is a smart kid. Like, he's smart as a freaking whip. What do I believe in that 99% of people would disagree with on me?
Yeah.
Self-selection. The way that I allow for self-selection and autonomy in my program, I think I've gotten a lot of flack about, because
why do you think that is? Just because
people are scared. My ego. I told you to do this. I made you successful. No, you're making you successful.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that to you. So autonomy and self-selection, and that athlete it helps them to take ownership and create ownership. And when I tell you that it matters, self-selection matters, right? And again, it's their ability to go like, I don't like back squatting. Cool, man. That's okay. There's 14 different ways for me to squat you.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you.
But we're still going to hit these 3 positions on the way down.
Correct.
And we're still going to hold it for this amount of time.
Correct.
And
because who's coaching?
Yeah.
Me. Who's driving intent? Me.
Yeah.
Does it matter if we do a goblet squat, back squat, front squat, zercher, pitch shark? No, not really.
Yeah.
If the quality is there, which I am the dictator of what quality there is.
Sure.
So I've had a lot of people give me shit about the fact that I allow for so much self-selection because they think it makes them soft.
Yeah.
I've gotten that flat.
Well, how do you develop mental toughness if everyone isn't doing the same back squat and blowing their back
on
out?
On the time, yeah. On the whistle. If I don't have my whistle on my clipboard.
Well, it's our job. Okay.
Your turn, buddy.
Erica.
I'm glad I had some time to think about this one. I would say, and okay, maybe not 99% of people disagree with this. I would say it's becoming more of a thing, but I think early on I was so focused on the textbooks and the X's and O's and the sets and reps and making sure I had all these things. Even now, I'm such a planner that I want to make sure I'm doing all the right things, and I'm, making sure that I'm laying out my training as it should be. It's all the X's and O's. I get very hyper focused on that. But then I come back to, I think you're only as good of a coach as you are a person and your relationships. And so sometimes I'm really hard on myself with that. But if you are just a genuine person, that you show your athletes that you care and you want to make them better, not 100% of the time, but chances are the program that you give them, if you're doing the basics, like, they're going to get better because they're bought into what you're doing. It's not so much on, okay, I have to make sure my program is perfect in this, never going to be perfect. So I think being a better person outdoes how much knowledge you have as a strength and conditioning professional. If you have both, you're elite. So there you go, have both. But
I love that. Ben, can we pull up a clip from this gym Instagram page of all of them just running into the crash pad? We have a crash pad question.
Fantastic.
So, when I was building out this gym, I wanted to make sure we had enough room to at least get 30 full yards of max intent sprinting. In order for me to make that happen, we had to build an additional room. So we have about 45 total usable yards. And then we had to get a crash. So we had to build a room just for a crash pad. There's a learning. So if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking, here it is. So as you can see, Blaine has no trouble figuring this out. He's done this once or twice. He won look at him. He's just fully yeeting himself. Joe, it took him a while. Joe fell down at one point.
Oh, geez.
He actually tried to do like an Antonio Brown situation where he kicked the pad to slow down.
Jeez.
Erica finally got it, but let's just look at that.
Really?
So Erica is running hands first. I mean, for the love of God, Erica.
Someone's gonna snap a wrist.
The question is, when will Erica get redemption on the crash pad? I don't know. I don't. I'm pretty sure she's wrecked. We trained hard this weekend, but I think what this is it's clear that you have to come back out at some point in time and rip sprints again.
So I can master the crash pad.
It's all about the crash pad.
Yeah,
yes.
no, my knee, I can't lie. You would think my wrist hurt. I messed up my knee. My knee is blown up.
Really?
Yeah, it's swollen.
USA Bobsled, she's fine.
I'm good though. I'm good.
She's okay. She's all right. Her knee's not messed up at all. She's
good.
great. Thank you.
Okay, we'll get to a real question next. Thank you guys for pulling that up. Amazing. I love this. Okay, this is from McCollum with 3 L's, 4 L's.
Wow.
Shout out having 4 L's in your Instagram handle. Most impressive thing you guys have seen from a female athlete, not in sports. So a jump, a sprint time, a lift. You're up first.
Honestly, when I was at Apex running with the first group of women, it was after I ran my 40, and I saw Emily Reyna run after me. I was mesmerized.
Yep.
I mean, she just flew.
Yes.
I walked up to her after. I literally was like, "What do you do?" I don't think I asked her name.
Yep. Another bobsled athlete.
Yeah.
You not even an introduction. It's like, all right, what the fuck's going on?
How do you run that fast?
Yeah.
So I would say when I witnessed it in person, Emily Reyna, her fast 40.
Excellent. Yep. 486. She's current record holder. AK.
The most impressive thing I've ever seen a female athlete do?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
In person.
Yes. In person, the most impressive thing. Go watch Journey Robinson kill a ball.
Crazy.
Go watch our outsides, watch our middles. I have nothing but immense amount of respect for my and the entire team. But go watch Journey Robinson slam a ball in front of the 10-foot line. Can we pull up a clip of Journey Robinson? Absolutely, you can. Okay. Journey Robinson's attacks.
By the way, how do I spell her name correctly?
Journey.
Yeah.
Jurne.
Jurne. What a cool name.
N-E-E. Yeah.
N-E-E. Okay. Jurne. And let's see if we can find
this kid. There was a highlight reel not that long ago up on Instagram of her taking a cross-court shot that hit.
I think I watched that
in front of the 10-foot line, and they're physically that's crazy. But this kid's elevating to touching 11.
How tall is she? She's touching 11.
There is no doubt in my mind that you watch her approach in the gym with me. She's touched 10, 11 before. And there's no doubt in my mind that you put a ball up there and
she'll go get it.
She's touching 11 without a doubt in my mind, and just slamming the ball down people's throats. How tall is she? 6'1", 6 foot maybe flat.
So she's
elevating.
flying.
If you can find a video of this girl jumping, people come to watch her just to see her attack, and I'm fortunate to be right there on the sideline, going like,
yeah, you love it so much.
And but the goal again, to keep her healthy, to keep her doing that. To keep her feeling good. Here it is. This is the ball. So watch this. Watch her go get this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's crazy.
God damn.
I would hate to be that libero.
Oh, I loved it so much. Watch this. Watch where this ball hits.
Boom.
Yo.
Right here. Like that's.
Oh, I fucking love volleyball, bro.
Dude, you gotta come down for one of these.
I would
games,
love that.
Yeah, bring your daughter.
I mean, my daughter would absolutely love that. Also, the women's assistant coach at LSU, Katie Dickens, I trained her when she was still on the AVP circuit up here in Austin.
Yeah.
I love her so much. She's just so awesome. Also, look, I'm a Tennessee fan. The real UT, we won't get into it.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah. Look, the University of Tennessee was established before Texas was even a state. I'll say it time and again.
Was it actually?
Big facts.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean.
So we were still like, okay.
Yep.
Neat.
Now, I will say, out of every SEC school, and I am an SEC elitist, it is what it is.
Because we are the best conference.
It's the best.
Sorry.
Yep. Cry to your mama. Mm-hmm. The energy that the LSU program has, I envy. I do. I want to play Boosty at practice. I want that. And I want it to mean what it means at Tennessee, that the same way that it means something at LSU. There's just something about that, like Tiger Stadium at night, like the whole thing. Like, I will forever, I'm out of pure blind fandom, Tennessee, Neyland Stadium, it's the best stadium in the country. It's the loudest stadium in the country. I don't, again,
you haven't been in Death Valley at night.
And that's what everybody says. And in fairness, I have not. But like when they cut to at halftime, the way that stadium looks, and everyone's singing "Set It Off" together, inject it into my veins. Yeah. Literally directly into my veins.
Set It Off or neck, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, we can't do that one.
That one's we in fact can. Odell Beckham Jr. came back and just looked at the band, and they were told not to play it, and he pulled out everything, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay this fine. I'll pay the fine when we get it. Play it. Play that shit. You're
kidding." Right now. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Play that shit right now. Let's go. And everybody's like, yes. And
I love LSU for that
I've seen some crazy stuff.
You know who really put me on the LSU too? Mo Wells. Shout out Mo Wells. But he went to LSU. He ran track there. He's a performance coach, and he's a hell of a good one. He had a huge combine prep this past year. But when I worked with him here in Austin, we were at Collective together. He had all these Grant Delpit, Leonard Fournette, Jamar Chase.
Oh, wow.
And those just all them together. The LSU energy, it was like I had FOMO. Yeah.
You gotta come. We'll get you out. We'll get you to come have a little night game.
Yeah.
Erica's gotta come. She owes me a training session.
I'll be an LSU guy for a day. Okay, how about that?
Yeah, one whole day.
Let's find one more good question, and then we're gonna get to segments here. We only have two. Okay. Justin Mayo, who just consistently asks good questions. Thank you, Justin. What is one of your most challenging sport coach interactions? It can be being as a player as well too. That way you don't jeopardize your job.
No, I'm not going to jeopardize my job. I'm surely not going to jeopardize my job. My coaches are. I don't have issues.
Oh man, I don't know if I can say this.
Yes, you can. We'll edit it out. I'm curious.
You go first.
Yeah, you go first. Okay, we'll give.
I gotta ponder on this one.
Oh, okay. I mean, ponder it by all means. Not at my current institution, but challenging is that I was told I didn't know how to do my job, and that happens quite a bit actually, and it's not the first time it's happened to me. Where the institution it happened to me at, obviously I don't work there anymore, but
sure.
It's really challenging in our positions to be told by somebody that you don't know what you're talking about, and I've been doing this for XYZ amount of years, and you are however years old you are, and you don't know. But I'm going to be really honest with you. You don't. We don't know anything. And until we are able to dive into that and ask better questions and remain curious and seek out those solutions, you need to be careful about how you speak to sport coaches about something that they really know about and you don't.
Yeah.
Like I've been around quite a few coaches at this point who, when you start using things that are new to them, it becomes a justification process. Why should I add that into my program? I've been doing this for XYZ amount of years and I've been winning.
Yeah.
Why is what you're doing going to make this any better? So knowing your stuff and being able to advocate for yourself as to why you're doing what you're doing is important.
Yep.
But outside of that, I think my most challenging interactions now with sport coaches where I'm at is just scheduling. It's hard to get, sometimes it's hard to get the slots that I want. If I know it's best for us to train before practice.
Yep.
And they don't want to train until after practice, we're training after practice.
Yep.
Is that ideal? No.
But you got to find a way to make it work.
But I'll tell you what,
Yep.
Get in and do the work. I got to schedule my stuff this year. My coaches gave me exactly what I asked for. Earlier morning lifts to where practice is now its own thing and they can be done.
Nice.
And so but it takes time, and you cannot come in, and you said this early on, coming in and just putting your fist down and saying like, I'm going to do this my way and this is the way we're going to go about this. Wrong.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. You don't know anything about the way their practice works. You don't know anything about anything. So sit, observe, listen, take time and ask better questions, remain curious about the whole process, and it'll make you a better coach. And Justin's also great. Matt, not only does he ask good questions, he's just a smart person in general.
I would say I echo that. I am lucky though, the coaches I work with, like we do have a good relationship and they have made it easy for me. So I'm going to go at it from a different perspective of being the athlete under a coach. Not going to name who or where or what, but I think the hardest interaction, it wasn't just me, it was teammates of attacking, playing time and life revolving around a sport. It's everything, especially when you're in college. Your playing time, your minutes, if that's your whole identity, it's hard when that's taken away or it's something that you were the best in high school, but then you get to college and it's a shock. Everyone's the best. Mm-hmm. But I think what was hardest for me and some of my teammates is it wasn't our skill that was getting nitpicked. It was our character and who we were as people. That is something that really messed me and some of my teammates up. And we still talk about it to this day we've had coaches that really messed us up mentally. And I'm glad for it now because now I know what that feels like. And I know that some athletes might have come from coaches like that. I have some that I work with, maybe that have transferred, whatever, who have had those types of coaches who they cut too deep and they about things that they know nothing about.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's definitely been the hardest interaction. But again, I'm trying to use it to my benefit of now I have a better understanding, and that's something for me that I want to make sure my character and who I am as a person is never attacked again because I'm modeling in the way that I do things. And if someone attacks me for it, now I can stand up for myself. At the time, I was an 18-year-old.
Right.
So freshman in college, it's like, oh, I'm a terrible person and I suck at volleyball. So it's just
awesome. Great.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I think the issue that I have is that when they make it moral. When you make sport morality. And that is actually something that I have had a difficult relationship with over even recently in my career is like making sports, putting morality on your hard work or your effort.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do. One of my least favorite phrases is how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I completely agree with you.
And that is completely false. And for you to say that and you just tell an athlete, well, the way that you do this is absolutely the way you do everything else.
Sure.
No, it's not. It's not the way. And that's not how human behavior works. We scale things based upon intent, right? Effort, what we want to do, what we don't want to do. Yeah. And so that irritates me when all of a sudden, like, your character is now being attacked because, well, you did this rep poorly, so that must be how you do every rep.
I could just hear a strength coach with a raspy voice being like, how you do anything, how you do everything.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work.
That's right. Yeah, it's like, well, it doesn't actually.
Yeah, never actually. You just watch
never actually.
Like, smash. You think that if you work harder than her, you're going to beat her? You're not.
You're not.
You're not.
You might get in the game. I don't know.
Yo, she might smash you in the face. Like
Right.
Not Jern. You're not doing that.
All right, let's get the segments, guys. So 2 segments. First, underrated versus overrated. This is brought to you by OVR. Shout out OVR. They basically sponsor everything I do at this point. I love you guys. Thank you for sponsoring the podcast, the conference, Apex. They're stellar. Click the link in the show notes, and you'll save $25 off of your order. How cool is that? Okay, so overrated versus underrated. We'll keep these short and concise. And we'll start. Who went first last time? She did. So now it's on you, AK. Oh, am I tripping?
I think I went.
Okay. All right, Erica. Yeah, no. That's right. It's on you, Erica.
Yeah.
My bad. All right. Overrated versus underrated. So what's an idea, philosophy, principle, way of doing things that is overrated? And we'll keep this into in fact, we can broaden it to the performance space in general. It doesn't have to be just volleyball. So what's a philosophy concept that's like overrated? Like, I think it's a bit oversold. And then what's an idea, philosophy, concept that's underrated?
Honestly, I kind of want to, they kind of go hand in hand, and I am going to relate it back to volleyball, honestly. Okay. So I think if you know anything about volleyball players, me and AK were talking about this, they're not runners at all. Not runners, not good sprinters. No. I mean, you look at the sport, right? Yes. And so obviously in periods of time, off season, getting ready for the jump from 8 hours to 20 hours, or even during break periods, coaches want to make sure that they're getting that conditioning, making sure they're targeting the right energy system, getting them ready for come back to their sport. But I feel like it's always, all right, we're just going to run. And tempo runs, they have a time and a place. And that is what I'm going to do with my girls in the summer. But I think it's so heavily like, oh, we're just going to sprint and we're going to run because every athlete should do that. Well, it's a great stimulus, but at what cost? So I think running volleyball players in certain time periods is okay, but to go to underrated is low impact ways of conditioning. So one thing we do at South, which is really cool, this is from the head coach there, that I walked in and he was like, yeah, we box. And at first we
fight.
I know. That's awesome. I thought, wait, what? No, but it's like, punching bags, and they had this whole thing. They'd taken classes, they have the wraps and the gloves. And he, talked me through, and he's like, this is how we've, hit some of our conditioning, things getting the girls ready, and it's competitive. Like, they are training to be aggressive. And so I think it's not just the biking I think there's ways you can get creative to condition your athletes like volleyball players that running it's just so easy to be like, oh, we'll just run for this time on, this time off, and mimic it to a game. But like we talked about, there's so much beating up that they already take. So how can we do it in a way that is beneficial for them, but is a little bit different? And so I would say underrated is finding low impact conditioning to hit those buckets when the time period is appropriate, and highly recommend boxing.
Nice. Very cool, Erica.
Boxing. That's wild.
I know.
Boxing. There's other things. There's other things I would worry about. Anyway, overrated, underrated. Yes. I think overrated is just traditional methods of back squat, freaking power cleans. Sorry, oversold. I trained it. It's not useful in my space. It's no longer applicable to what I'm doing. So overrated incredibly is, I think the Olympic lifts have value. I'm not bashing by any means, but I think underrated is just curiosity and movement patterns and finding those ways to jump and finding those ways to move and load, single leg loading, right? Things like that. So bilateral, I'll just make it even that much more simple. Overrated, bilateral loading, underrated, single leg, unilateral loading.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Last one. This is unsolicited, solicited advice, okay? So you're each going to go back, after this weekend to your respective institutions, and you're going to get settled back in and back into the ebb and flow of day-to-day life. And you both, while you're at your separate institutions, have some similar things in place, right? And I'm going to imagine there's an intern involved, okay? You're going to be going through your day-to-day life. You're going to be setting up a lift. And for whatever reason, you're each going to be completely overwhelmed, convicted, enthused. You have to give this intern a piece of unsolicited, solicited advice. AK, we're going to start with you. This piece of advice can be about anything. It can be about life, philosophy, training. What is one piece of advice that you would like to serve up to this unsuspecting intern?
stay curious in everything that it is that you're doing and seek out low cost, high value solutions before you look for the most complex ones.
It's really fucking good advice, AK. It's really good advice. Excellent. Thanks. Well done.
Off the dome.
Erica.
Do hard things.
Yeah.
That's it. It's ingrained in my head. My strength coach, when we would do conditioning, we're all dying. She's just like, you can do hard things, suck it up, do something hard. And now it's just stuck in my head with everything in life that I do, just trying to get uncomfortable. If I'm feeling too comfortable and I haven't done something hard, I'm not growing. Mm-hmm. That's in from training to who I am as a person in relationships. So that would be my biggest advice is go do something hard.
Fuck yeah. Erica, we'll start with you. Where can people find you, connect with you, learn more?
Instagram's the easiest, Erica Lowry Strength. I'm pretty active on there, so just DM me if you have a question, follow me. I'll follow you back. And then email ericalowrystrength@gmail.com if you have maybe a more extensive question or want to go on the phone or interning opportunities, things like that.
Awesome. AK?
Instagram is now live. I'm doing a lot more on it than I used to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't do a whole lot of social media. You want to shoot an email, ashk@lsu.edu. I'm not promising I'll get back to you on email.
Yeah.
The
relatable.
Instagram right now, Instagram is literally just the easiest way for me to access and put my training out into the world.
Yep.
And so it's probably the best way. I'm not going to sit here and say that follow me and I'll follow you back. I really don't care about any of that shit. If you follow me and you want to interact with me and we want to start those things, then we can talk about that, right? And that's a conversation at which like that stuff is overwhelming to me, and I don't just scroll on social media and I don't just interact and like make it my world. Mm-hmm. But it is a place that I do feel like I can adequately try to educate people as to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and give some literal unsolicited advice.
Hell yeah.
And be that person that can be like, hey, here's exactly what I'm doing. If you want to know why, reach out and create a connection with me. And if you seek out a personal relationship with me, it's much easier to do those things.
Very cool. Guys, thank you both so much. Thank you guys for being here for the conference. Thank you for taking the time to do the podcast. This was awesome. This is also the first time we've actually been able to pull things up, and it actually went incredibly well. So shout out to producers Jake and Ben back there. To everyone listening and watching, if you've made it this far, please remember to subscribe. It's free to you, helps the show out a ton, affords me the opportunity to have the blessing to be able to sit with two brilliant coaches like Erica and Ash. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.